you reign!
This is the D-Generation cliX podcast. Here are your hosts, Ryan Redmond, Miles Kane, and Daniel Schwab.
Welcome back to the D-Generation cliX podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me, as always, are Miles, Dan, and Pete. Miles, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I'm sure most people actually was able to see the live stream. I'm gonna try and hopefully be able to do it weekly. Obviously, I'm not gonna be giving bricks away weekly.
No, you should. Totally.
Yeah, if I had the money for sure. No, the reason why I gave this brick away was that me and Brad Broyles at the Rock Cup, we each put in for a booster, and they didn't have a booster, and so I guess they ended up sending us a brick of Weapon X from the auction. So I figured this is for the community, for me donating to the Huntingtons. So I figured why not just give it out to the community. So yeah, I think that's what all this free stuff from WizKids should be for. I think everyone in the community that gets this stuff should hand it out to the community that doesn't have the ability to get something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, so it'd be cool to do that again for sure.
Yeah, the tip cards definitely, I think, are going to help step up my game, and hopefully everyone out there. Vox on 002 Deadpool, there has to be something there. It was on a tip card, so.
It's a good point. Thanks for sharing that. For anyone that missed out on the live stream on Sunday.
Yeah.
Dan, tell me something positive.
Yesterday was fun.
All right. That's good. Pete, how was your week going?
You know, yesterday was fun. I got to agree with Daniel. We had to win a map at the store, which was nice. But I felt a little bit like Charlie Day, the actor from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when I was trying to figure out how our scoring got entered incorrectly for the first round. So by the end of it, I had strings attached to papers, attached to more papers with push pins, and there was a lot of pointing and gesturing. But overall, it was a good day.
When the dust settled, the winners won, and it was all the way it should have been. So it was all good. I now have two.
Not address that at all.
I now have two bunker maps. 0 for sale. All right, we also got some 2024 Worlds news. What?
I think we should revisit. Miles' idea about giving to the community.
I have 3 people to make teams for, so I'm actually in need of one more bunker map. So if I get a fourth one, I absolutely agree.
Dan, mud wrestling at Worlds. If you win it, you get the 4th map, and then we can give it away to a player.
I don't think anybody wins that.
And I got my money on Dan.
Who's mud wrestling?
Dan and Redmond. So my money's on Dan. And you say you may not win, Dan may not win, but me and the community will win.
That's fair.
Yeah, I call that an absolute win for the community.
All right, so on to Worlds news. We do know now that Masters of Time will not be legal for Worlds, and they also did post the event schedule. So Thursday is going to be the Pulp World Championship again, and there better be a top cut for that this year, because last year I think it was 5 rounds, and then they just ended it. And I don't think that's the way to do a tournament. And then
I don't think they are doing cut again. Did it say anything about cut? Because the other ones that did do.
I did not look at it that closely. Well, it's very disappointing then. I thought it was starting earlier, so I was hoping that there would be a top cut. That's unfortunate. And then Friday, there's the Team World Championship that's going to be sealed. For the second year in a row, there's not a design a figure for the grand prize of this event. And then they're also doing the fan appreciation. These are always really cool, so I'm hoping that they did save some stuff and didn't just show it all off at Gen Con. But that's Friday also. And then Saturday is the actual World Championship. And the design a figure is on the list already for this, so we do not need to rally and burn everything down like the last 2 years. And then Sunday is the World Championship playoffs like they did last year too. Those are the big events going on over the weekend. Notably missing, though, are the silver event and the theme event, which is kind of weird because I think those were both a little bit of a focus last year because they were brand new at the time. And then also happening, though, every one of those days are BRs with Masters of Time, supercharged sealed events, and then Jurassic BRs. And then in addition to those, on Friday through Sunday, they're also running 2 different types of pulp events, a single elimination style event and an extreme team Highlander. And then that might actually be part of the reason that they're not doing silver theme is just because it takes too much time to actually schedule those. I think last year they made you drop out of, I think, the main world champion and team sealed to do one or either of those, right? Because they started even, I think, before top cut. They started around round 4, I think.
Think so. Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, because that was during Teams
It was
Day.
round 3. Yeah, I think it was 3 when they did the silver themes.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go play
So-
those other events, you had to drop out of other events that you were already playing in by round 3 or 4 to sign up for it. And then they were also doing like X of Swords events last year that had extremely limited seating. So if you weren't in line early enough on Thursday, you didn't get signed up for them, which that was kind of rough. So it does look like they're... Huh?
Nothing. Just continue.
It looks like it's impossible to not just be able to do everything that you want this year, which is kind of cool. What are you going to say?
They also had the there was that one random what was it called? The Royal Flush thing last year too.
Oh, but that was like a
During-
random like selection. You just signed up for BRs and you got randomly selected. They only did, I think, one a day,
Yeah,
right?
there's only once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
once a
I
day
just-
until the last day when they started doing some to try and get rid of the product, which I was able to get into. It just sucked because they were out of Notorious, and so we were stuck with X of Swords. And I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of X of Swords as a sealed battle royal set.
No. You talking about the slop or the main set?
I think it was the main set.
Oh yeah, that probably wasn't. The slop would have been better as like a BR, I think, than the.
Yeah,
the
and
main
I think
set.
they also like randomly added in like the monthly slops.
Oh okay.
I'm not too sure, but yeah, they ran out of Notorious. The Jurassic Booster Battle Royals seems really interesting. Like I know it's $55 to go in there, but you're guaranteed a Colossal. Like first off, you're guaranteed a Colossal. There's only 4 people. If you get 4th, there's a good chance you're going to get 2 Colossals. I think that's solid for $55.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Is that the BR price or is that?
Yeah, so the Jurassic boosters, the $55, where all 4 people are going to have the Jurassic boosters.
Oh okay.
That can be their boosters that they're using for that BR.
Yeah, because you get standard size figures in there too. That's true.
Yeah, so it's going to be so everyone, and it says 200 points is what you can play the figures at, the Colossals at. But if you figure first place, depending on what is in the prize pool, they could take that, and if they take that, then last place gets 2 Colossals. So you're going to at least get one of those Colossals. So I think that is a really good bang for your buck for only $55, especially with some of the Jurassic boosters having chases and stuff. Because I'm pretty sure that so even last place you're going to be ending up with a lot. So I think it's worth paying the $55 for it.
Yeah, that actually
I know
sounds
a lot
a
of
little
people are like,
different.
oh, this is too expensive. But
And the best part is everybody trying to pack those giant colossals into their bags to get on flights to go home.
That's
Yes.
gonna be, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I need to check my dinosaur.
yes. Let's see out there.
You mean dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs. Yes.
Yeah, 'cause it's $55, and it says standard battle royal rules using the Jurassic boosters instead of regular boosters. So, and the colossal characters must be played on a point value no greater than 200 points. There will be one Jurassic battle royal each day of the World Championships with 56 seats, 14 4-player pods. Pricing is the same, but yeah, there's going to be at least 4 Jurassic boosters. So, that's just a win right there. $55 for a chance to just get the one that you want. These things are potentially going to be going for a pretty penny. Mr. Mine looks like he's going to be the most pulled for sure. That's what I've seen. So Flash Raptor, I think there's only been a few pulled compared to the rest. So it's gonna be really interesting to see which ones actually skyrocket because of their rarity. But yeah, that's $55 for one of those. I'm fine with.
I mean, a wise man once said $20 is $20, so I think it just stands to reason that $55 is $55.
Yeah, I mean that's might be my new motto. It might be $55.
That is accurate.
Yeah.
That does sound fun, though. They are also doing another Disney Next Phase chase for a Kevin swap like they did on Gen Con. I think you have to sign up for it earlier in the event, and then they're doing the actual exchange on Saturday, I believe. But we'll do a deeper dive into Worlds in the near future with like a pricing breakdown and a more in-depth look at all the events and all that stuff. So, and then also WizKids last week did put out a watch list article. They didn't mention any figures or elements by name, but did say to expect an update by Friday, August 16th. These changes would go into effect for Worlds. So depending on what gets an errata, there is potentially a pretty huge shakeup that's on the horizon here. So definitely pretty exciting with that in the fold.
This is the HeroClix community on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just imagined a lot of buttholes puckering for this. That's about what I imagine.
Anytime any of these gets announced, everybody kind of starts getting a little antsy. So I will say, though, that this is something I think that it's highly wanted by the majority of the community. It seems like, at least, even leading up to not having this information that we just went over about Worlds, everybody was more interested, at least what I saw, about getting a watch list and some erratas to fix the meta versus even what days, what events are going on. That's what I saw, at least. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
All right, but on to what, Dan? Do you have something?
That wasn't me.
Oh,
that was not me.
No, that was me. Yeah,
okay.
I said yeah.
All right, so on to our the rest of our Masters of Time super rares, chases, and colossals. So next we have the first super rare 044 Batman.
I'm Batman.
So he comes in at surprise, 60 points. He's another one of the return of Bruce Wayne's. So he comes. You can either replace him with another character, or you can heal him. He has a trait, the time traveling Omega Bomb. So I'm guessing this is Omega Batman, Dr. Octopus, and Batman combined pretty much. He's a 7'11", 18-3 with plasticity, special attack power, 18 with impervious, and then shape change. 3 range, 2 targets. He has a trait, Pulse Wave. When Batman uses it, if he didn't begin the turn on the map, hit opposing characters are given an action token. And then his special attack, which he has through the first 5 clicks, and then it goes regular poison on the last 2, is poison. And when he uses it, opposing characters within range and line of fire or considered adjacent to him. And then 2 backslashes. So that means that this is always going to be separate. Opposing characters within range and line of fire must break away from Batman as if he were adjacent. I see what they're going with. I think the one thing that really hurts this figure from being played compared to the other ones is you want that poison to be after you move someone and replace them, and his is at the beginning of the turn, so it loses some luster. I still think he's really good. If last episode we went over the common, uncommons, and rares. We had one that has the empower, and if he didn't begin the turn on the map, he gets +1 his attack. Then the quick draw one. When Batman hits with a range attack, if it's during your first action, he has that. And then if he didn't begin the turn on the map, you make a range attack. Then we also had the 18, which was if he didn't begin the turn on the map, you generate a smoke terrain marker, which is the caveman bat. And then we had the pirate, which is if you didn't begin a turn on the map, you choose an equipment equipped to a hit character and remove it from the game. And then the last one we got was Witch Hunter, which is Smoke Cloud is free, and when Batman uses it, if he didn't begin a turn on the map after resolutions, you deal 1 penetrating damage to opposing characters. That one also had 19 defend. I think this Batman is, even though he's going to be one of the higher rarities, I'm not sure if he's going to really be seeing potentially a lot of play. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with him. I do like him. I do like his sculpt.
I think he's a toolbox piece, right? Like, so if you're going to play these Batman, they're going to occupy a lot of your sidelines, and he just gives you options. I think he's pretty cool, honestly. And these Batman are probably the best. Well, they're not shifting focus, but they're basically shifting focus. Since like what, maybe the Hall of Armor is bringing stuff in, like they give you a ton of utility on pieces. So I think they're cool. I like him.
Yeah, all the powers together. This guy just offers a ton of really cool basic stuff that you want on any piece. So being able to switch to him just makes him better. I think that I almost want to just like play this guy alone, even not worried about the other the Batman. I actually like him quite a bit. Even just having the stealth and the shape change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, using him for the swap, I just don't think he's good enough for that. I think what he brings to the table, he's good by himself.
Yeah. So I like him a lot. That poison and being able to just lock people down and having them break away as if they were adjacent, that stuff is huge. So being able to maybe keep him in hindering and still do that, that's pretty good.
Well, and yeah, you can bump up his range to 6. So, I mean, 6 range poison is not bad.
It's not. Yeah, so I like him quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
All right, next we have 045 Despero, Secret Society of Supervillains, Time Stealers, Future and Past Keywords. He has a trait, removing pieces from the table. For all characters with this trait, when another character uses telekinesis, after resolutions deal 1 unavoidable damage to any characters they placed. He has another trait, telepathic subjugation. At the beginning of the game, choose a game element on an opponent's sideline. While Despero is on the map, the chosen game element can't use sideline active effects or leave its sideline. Protected Pulse Wave. And then he's got a special attack power, Penetrating Psychic Blast, and TK. He also has improved targeting hindering, 6 range, 2 bolts. He is 50 points, and then he's got an 8 speed with mind control on his top dial, 11 attack with that special attack power for 3 clicks, 17 super senses, and a 3 damage prob. So I actually like this guy quite a bit. He's just kind of a dick for no reason. He punishes you for using TK, says you can't use something on your sideline. He doesn't have a movement attack, which I'm never a fan of, but again, only 50 points and prob, pensai, 6 range, improved targeting, hindering. So I think this is definitely a piece to look at post-rotation for sure.
Oh yeah, no, he's absolutely good. He's absolutely good. You do all have to remember that you also hurt your own figures, which there's certain figures from this set that actually can take advantage of that. So dealing 1 unavoidable damage to someone could be a good thing. The sideline element is just ridiculous. Hey, past is coming. Past is the future.
He's getting played in past teams. He's getting played in non-theme teams. I mean, very rarely will I look at a piece that's 50 points that doesn't have a movement attack, but when you're handing out unavoidable damage, when things are getting TK'd, and you could potentially even use TK as a weapon at that point. Like can you TK other people's pieces? You can't anymore, can you?
No, not anymore.
Ah, that's too bad. That would have been great. But the pen side, the telekinesis, the prob. I mean, and getting rid of you don't get Khonshu now. Oh, sorry, there goes Amit. Like, what did you have on your sideline that you were counting on? So now you don't have it. That's huge, man.
Right. Yeah, I like him quite a bit. And then you also have the fact that, like Miles said, you can damage someone if you want to go into that gimmick, but he can still use TK because it says when another character uses it. So that's...
Oh, yeah, so you can still TK with him to play somebody and you won't actually hurt them, which is good. I mean, that's unless we have another thing that can place or move characters, that's going to be... I mean, TK is already a strong power, and him just being able to take that advantage away, or you're hurting yourself for using it. A lot of people, I would think, would be shaky to I would not want to TK something then, so I would slow your alpha down quite a bit.
Honestly, this would probably be a good guy for the butterfly swap too, because if it would come into play, bring him in.
Sideline, though. That's the the one bad thing is that you can't shoot the sideline option.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. That's what I just looked at. Yeah, so I'm actually excited with this guy. This is easily one of my top super rares, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, and his sculpt is huge from all the pictures I've seen. It's ridiculous.
Let's go into 046 John Constantine.
John Constantine. Justice League Dark, Detective, and Mystical. Welcome to the Force, Detective Constantine. Sold my soul 3 times. Other characters can't use probability control. When an opposing character within range uses Outwit or Perplex before they choose a target, you may roll a d6. If you roll what I'm going to roll, John Constantine will take a lot of damage. He will take 1 damage unavoidable. If you roll a 4 through 6, you may choose any other character, friendly or opposing, within range and line of fire of Constantine to become the target of that power instead, and you make all that power's choices. So you are potentially rerouting Perplex or Outwit, which is pretty cool. He's got 6 clicks. He's got a speed power, stealth, and then free place John Constantine up to 4 squares away from his current square, which is really nice and useful. And then on his damage power, he has the Laughing Magician, Outwit, and Probability Control. He is probably one of my main ones from the set. I think this was actually designed by Saul. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is clearly a really, really nice Constantine. He did a really good job of designing this. This is clearly somebody that, like, understands the utility of these powers, these super important powers, probability control and outwit and perplex, and gives you something that's a support piece, but a little bit in kind of an offensive category based on chance. So I think he's awesome.
Faust. That's exactly who this is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a new Faust.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that it kind of shuts
yeah,
down
no,
the prob across the entire board, and only he can use it. And then the dial's obviously a little bit longer than Faust, because at low, Faust only needed to take 2 damage or 3 damage.
I think 2. I want to
Yeah.
say 2. I think we only
Yeah,
had 2 clicks.
I'm pretty sure it was 2.
Yeah, so if you have to go, I mean, he's got stealth, and he still has that same way to place him.
3.
But what's that? He just takes 3. Okay,
3 clicks.
so you're gonna have to hit this guy twice, most likely, though, at least, to get rid of him. So you really have to decide that this is the guy that needs to go on a turn. So
And and the thing too is he has Mystics and Team Player, so he can take another good TA to copy. I mean, he's got
When
a
you try and outwit him, he can just go ahead and he gets a 50% chance to where he's not outwitted. So, I mean,
and then
Yeah,
you had
pseudo outwit
not
protection is rough.
not for nothing. I mean, you have precision strike, so if you need him to come in and take a swing on somebody, you're still getting 1 damage. And then late dial, he's got ways to heal. He's got steal energy. He's got regen. So he's not an easy piece to kill, I don't think.
No. I like him. Yeah.
and again another new piece with 6 range, which is really good now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, and then we have 047A Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. So this one's the A side. So he is 95 points. He's got Justice League Dark, Herald, Monster, Mystical, and Scientist. He's got Wild Card and Team Player like Constantine. He's got 2 traits, Ace, and a special defense power. His first trait is Plasticity Poison, and then free generate a plant hindering terrain marker within 4 squares in line of fire. This game, that marker has when this marker hinders line of fire, characters instead modify defense +2. And then he has another free but these are all separated by the 2 hash marks, so they're all separate. And then it has free make a close attack, but only to target a character occupying a square with any plant terrain marker, regardless of adjacency. So he's a really expensive poison ivy, but he does a lot more than her too, and he's a lot harder to kill. He's got improved movement, elevated, goes through blocking, so it doesn't destroy, but just walks through it, and then characters. He also has his second trait, which is shape change support, and then free choose one until your next turn. Is he can either go tiny, standard, or giant. That's pretty cool. And it's until you choose again. So unless you're getting pulse waved, he's gonna keep whatever size you pick, which I think is cool because then you can like go giant and he gets willpower, or tiny and you can carry him, even if you don't have flight. And then his defense power, which is on his last 3 clicks, is super senses, and then free remove any 1 plant terrain marker within 4 squares of Swamp Thing from the game. If you do after resolutions, he can use regen as free. So top dial, he's a 8 charge, 12 in cap, 19 invincible, and 4 exploit. And he's got exploit for 4 clicks, and then battle fury for 4 clicks. His last 3 clicks are flurry, steal energy, that special defense, and then the battle fury. And his middle 2 clicks at 3 and 4 are sidestep, quake, and toughness with exploit. So overall, I mean, I like the piece. I don't think he'll be meta, but he does a lot. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on there, and he's got just a lot of utility.
I'd like to see him
I
on a
would have,
team with Poison Ivy.
yeah, I would have liked to see those as 3-stop clicks for him, especially at 95 points. I think that would
Yeah,
be make him that much better.
that would have been nice. Yeah, I would like that. That would have been cool because I mean, he is technically really hard to kill in like the like general idea of like comics and stuff. So I mean, but
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I was just trying to compare him to the 90-point man thing from Wheels of Vengeance. Obviously, this figure's better, but yeah, this is yeah. I was first introduced to this character with the lovely Wes Craven Swamp Thing movie from 1982, so I have a huge soft spot for this guy. I love Swamp Thing. I think that anybody that's interested in this character should also be looking at potentially reading Alan Moore's take on him. Yeah, Swamp Thing's a great character.
One of the
I definitely think with Scientist, Ivy, him, and Man Thing just sound like a fun team. I'm definitely going to take a shot at playing that. I don't care if 4 Ivies at the moment is must play. That's not fun to me. Give me Swamp Thing.
I mean, I like that he can get a god for free because he's the Herald. That's kind of cool.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
And then since he starts at a
That's
normal
extremely
size, you can still equip him and then choose to go tiny or giant, which is also pretty strong.
yeah,
But yeah, 95
I think
points. He still
if you
probably
see
does.
this guy in sealed, I mean, you're like, oh crap, right? Like he's a sealed
Oh, he's a
bomb.
must play. I don't
yeah. I
in
think
team field, that's going to be tough. Like, there's going to be people fighting for him. I know, at least for us.
When was the last time they made a Swamp Thing?
for
Um,
White.
yeah,
Or-
and they had an ID card that came out.
Yeah, where
That
there was
never
no
had a-
Swamp Thing even available
Yeah.
to be played.
Yeah.
The sculpt is cool too.
Yeah, it's cool to get a piece like this that we haven't gotten in a long time. And then we also got a Black Lantern version of him. That's the Prime 047B. So he has Black Lantern Corp, keyword Herald, Monster, Mystical, Ruler, Scientist. He has a trait. The green is now black. Free, generate a grave hindering terrain marker within 4 squares or in any square of printed hindering terrain on the map. Free, place Swamp Thing in any unoccupied square within 4 squares with a grave terrain marker. And then he's got a special speed power, charge, plasticity, flurry, and then a special attack power, poison, steel energy, quake, 2 slashes, free, choose a character that was knocked back this turn and generate a grave hindering terrain marker in their square. Opposing characters occupying any friendly grave terrain markers can't reduce damage. So that right there is crazy good. I think that makes him playable with other Black Lanterns. Not Superman, but the other ones that are pretty good, like Batman or Green Arrow, Necron. And then
He becomes a problem, yeah, in just by himself. You don't even need any other Black Lanterns with him.
Yeah, I mean he's
Even
a
though I love, like, he's
I mean he's a
he's
giant.
dumb.
He's a giant. He's got charge, quake, exploit. I mean, yeah, that's all good things. So
now he does have
Can-
two. What were you gonna say, Pete?
Can he make Black Lantern Superman good by being on a team with him? Is my question. And
No.
really, it's just Swamp Thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
Superman hanging out in the back.
He does have 2 point lines, so it's a 125, which he gets KO'd on click 10 then. He starts with both those special powers. It's an 8 speed, 12 attack, and then a 19 impervious, 4 exploit. And then he also has a 75-point line that starts on click 4, 8, 12, 18, 4, same powers. So he really only gets +1 to his defense and 3 more clicks for 50 points. What do you guys think about him at both those point lines?
75, obviously.
yeah, it's gonna be
I
easy
think
to
he's
heal
a-
him up. So
we have a lot of figures that are potentially seeing some erratas. Luckily, he's not modern in Worlds. He can definitely be taken advantage of. You can give him Python, you can give him a Mitt for free, and then you're able to place him with Blackheart currently.
you don't even need
He's just,
you don't even need Amit though. He's got Steel Energy's entire dial. Like you don't.
yeah,
And
I
poison.
guess poison he already has.
Yeah, you don't even
That
need
is
it.
true. So you don't even need a Mitt, so you're probably going to be giving him
Khonshu?
Khonshu, yeah, I guess to give him prob. So that way you place him with Blackheart currently. I mean, Friday, we're going to see where the changes go, but like, you just when he's first shown, like, you place him, and then he has Charge Flurry. And then if you also have Necron on the team, because that's the whole entire thing, is that you want to put Necron on the team to place him with
Necron.
Swamp Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Drop
Yep.
that Grave Marker. They can't reduce damage, and
Well-
now you're just able to go there and just
Well, or you could do,
Charge flurry.
do Charge Quake too. He's giant. He has exploit, so you could hit a whole swath of people.
And it's interesting too is that he is a giant,
Yeah.
which means Kong does not automatically break away, which means Kong needs to roll a 6 because he has plasticity. So that's something that needs to be looked at as well.
Yeah, I like this guy
I think
ton.
it's extremely good.
There's 5 primes in this set, and again, they're just all ones that you can build around or strengthen a team for the most part that's already there.
I don't think we have a single bad prime. This might be potentially the best prime set that we've got.
Yeah, they are all
Where there
bangers.
is no duds. Yeah, there's no duds in this set.
Yeah, I like him quite a bit, so I'll definitely try to make him work too. But it's hard to choose which one you want to even do first, I think.
I think he's great. I think you play him at 75, though. I guess that's kind of the answer to the question.
Yeah,
Well, it's because it's really easy to
play
heal him up
with or
now.
without Necron.
You're not even
but I
losing
think that-
values initially, except for 1 defense. Like, you still get the same damage, attack, and speed.
yeah, that's actually a
So,
good point. You just play him with Necron for 40 points and then heal him up anyway.
Because
Right.
you're gonna have Tolerette on someone for free, so you just have support right there with Black Lanterns, and then you just heal them. So
Yeah, and I wouldn't even waste healing him up there because, like I said, there's the only difference is 1 defense.
yeah,
So
Does this make straight Black Lantern team meta?
it's
Nope.
no, because they don't have leadership.
yeah they don't have
They don't have leadership.
yeah it's still gonna be Monster, but he's definitely a buff for them for sure.
Yeah, Black Lanterns are playable when only a few of them are, and they have to be played on Monster. That's or Herald. Herald is another way to get Black Lanterns to work. But
Yeah, he's cool, man.
yeah,
And then we have the next one, which is 048 Rip Hunter. Miles.
yeah. No, I'm thinking. I just he's unique. Time Masters, Future, Past, and Scientist. He has a Time Masters trait that we went over last week, which is probability control. And when he uses it and an opposing character misses all targets after resolutions, you remove an action token from a friendly character with the Future Past keyword. He has another trait at the beginning of your turn. If Rip Hunter has no countdown tokens, roll a d6 and give him a number of countdown tokens equal to the result. When a character makes an attack, remove one of Rip Hunter's countdown tokens. When his last countdown token is removed, if that attack would hit all targets, it becomes a critical hit. If it would miss all targets, it becomes a critical miss. And then he has a special speed power, which is on clicks 1, clicks 4, which is his lower line, and then his last click is 7. Phasing teleport, phasing 4, friendly characters with the Future Past keyword and no action tokens do not require line of fire when using probability control. That's not bad. So he has that special speed power, precision strike, and energy shield deflection, and outwit on his top click, which is 65 points. And instead of outwit, it's going to be leadership at 40. He does have 5 range. He has the hyper time team ability. I do like this, but the problem that I'm having is that that countdown token is not a Yume. So that's it's hard for. I know it's a dice game, but I tried to mitigate and lower the amount of randomness. And if you like roll 2 and it just so happens that second attack that you made that turn or whatever the last one was a miss, it's now a crit miss. So it's I mean he brings a lot. You definitely only play him at 40. He does have leadership, so you can put him on scientist. He also has past. Time Masters you stay away from. He does have some good utility. I do like him on past in some instances, but he's a gambling. If you're a gambler, I think he's your guy.
Always 40 points, right? And most likely this is your leader.
Oh no, you never play him at 65. He does nothing at 65 that is worth the extra 25 points.
Well, he gives up
Outwit
25 more points.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
the
what
thing.
he's at 65, yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 extra defense and 1 extra speed and 1 extra damage. But let's be honest, The difference between 3 damage and 2 damage is there's absolutely no difference when you have precision strike.
You're
Exactly.
either going to fit another better character on or more equipment. So yeah, I don't think if this guy does make your team, you're leaving him at 40.
See, I guess
Yep.
my thing is his thing is all about pacing. So if you have, I guess if you're good with like tempo of your team, like you could make use of his countdown thing because it's not like
if
it
it's just
finalizes.
random.
Yeah, it's not like it finalizes
that's
the
real tough,
attacks.
yeah.
You can still prob it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it just sucks. It's like if you only roll 2 or you only roll 1.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, it's a
no.
risk reward thing. I just think it could. I'm more banking on him for like what he offers outside of that trade, and then that trade is basically icing. It's just like okay,
I'm just hoping that people realize that it says when a character makes an attack, remove 1. It's not a you may.
no,
This
if
is
you have
must.
to, yeah,
So if you're playing this in order to get the proper game state of the game, you have to remove it. So
yeah,
I know
So-
some people think of it as a you may, so they go, I don't want to remove it. So
So potentially, you roll your dice, you get through your turn, right? You got a couple of those left. When your opponents are attacking, now all of a sudden maybe they're crit missing.
yeah.
Now all of a
That's
sudden
right.
maybe they're crit hitting. Yeah.
so the
That's
good
right.
interesting thing is that there's a figure that makes it to where they can't crit hit, right? Madison.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Does she see play at 20 points, 25 points? I mean, I know that they don't really theme, but if you're going to go with that, I mean,
You're probably going to
it's
see
nice
more
that-
teams that are not themed going forward pretty soon here.
Yeah.
If I've said one thing in Hero Clicks consistently, it's as many Madisons as you can get on the table at one time is the best way to play it.
Yeah.
I love this guy. I love his jumpsuit, and I love the fact that we finally have a Hero Clicks drawing on a chalkboard. That's
we-
been my two major
and,
ones from this game.
We did,
and here we are.
we did agree that he is
I'm pretty
drawing
sure,
a giant
so.
butt, right?
It's a
Yes,
butt
those
for
are
sure.
100% butt cheeks. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
for sure,
space butt. Yeah.
It's a space
Mhm.
butt. All right, just making sure. All right, next is 049 Shadow. She's got the Underworld team ability, Assassin, Marksman, Martial Artist keywords. She has a trait, So Fast You Don't See My Hands Move, capital range, make up to 3 range attacks. When Shadow does, she can't target characters that took damage this turn. And then a special speed power, Stealth Running Shot, a special damage power. He would be so proud of what you've become. Range Combat Expert enhancement. Friendly characters with the Marksman keyword modify range +1. She has improved movement through characters and improved targeting through characters. She has 5 range and 3 bolts, and then she has 2 point value 75 and 30. 75 is in 8 speed with that special speed power, 11 precision strike, 18 ESD, and then 3 with that special damage power. She gets KO'd on click 7, and if she does take a couple hits of damage, she goes to a 19 super senses on that 75 point line. And then for only 30 points, she does only get 2 clicks, but with all those powers still, so it's a 6 speed, only a 10 attack, but still precision strike, 17 ESD, and then a 2 damage with that ranged combat expert enhancement power still, and then still the friendly characters with the marksman keyword modify range +1. And that's not like a Jason or anything like that. That's just a static ability. So I'm starting to actually think that marksman might be able to stand on its own feet after rotation and the set comes out.
Oh, see, I feel like she's prime kingpin fodder. Like it's just perfect.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's another great example. I honestly
I
really
like-
like her.
30 points for that. Like, yeah, it's 2 clicks, but I mean, potentially you're pinging a bunch of stuff, and I mean,
Yeah, and Kingpin has martial artist.
exactly.
So
that's
that's
why I was like
martial
a martial artist right there.
Yeah.
I think
She's
those
awesome.
those legacy daredevils
Yeah.
are too good on a kingpin team, I think, to make theme. But yeah, they do theme.
Yeah. She's awesome. 30 points. She hits all of our major keywords that we love, assassin and marksman. I mean, she's great. Absolutely
Yeah.
great. You probably honestly look at playing multiples of her.
I could see that, yeah. But just
I mean, the only thing she's missing is Black Lantern keyword to replace with Superman, and then Black Lanterns would be where they need to be.
I always like pieces like this that I see for the first time, and they just keep getting better, and there's no downside to playing them. So I really like her a lot. Pretty straightforward though. Next is 050 Clock King.
Clock King is Suicide Squad and Underworld. Gotham City those are team abilities. He has the keywords Gotham City Underworld and Justice League and Suicide Squad. His real name is William Talkman. Hurry up, the clock is ticking. At the end of your turn, each player may remove an action token from a character friendly to them. As another trait, even a broken clock is right twice a day, once per game. When a finalized attack roll is double ones, you may have that roll become a critical hit. 2 hashes once per game. When a finalized attack roll is double sixes, you may have that roll become a critical miss. Then he has 1, 2, 3 stop clicks, and it's stop when this click is first revealed, give an opposing character within range an action token. He is 60 points. He's 6 clicks. He's kind of a nightmare to get through because of the 3 stop clicks. You're for sure hitting him, though, most of the time. 16, he does have probability control. 16 defense. 1 damage, probability control. He does get precision strike on all of his stop clicks and sidestep. 6 range, 2 targets. I think he's interesting. I mean...
this is a perfect example of who you TK with Despero.
Yeah, you TK him up, he takes a damage, and then you click him to flurry. But he's only 12 for 1, so
It don't matter.
know.
You give him trick arrows. Give him trick arrows. No, 12 attack precision strike.
Yeah, you're still doing 2 damage as precision strike.
Yeah,
but no, I'm saying from range. Yeah, not just flurry.
This is honestly the only super rare that I do not like in the whole set.
Here's a nice piece of shit.
That's where you're wrong. That's why you're wrong. I'm telling you. This is an annoying. This is an annoying piece. Like I said, you can team up with Despero. TK him. He takes that one unavoidable. You don't have to be sold on it. Just because you don't think it's good.
So you're going to give him.
Good. I'm just
first of all, you're adding another TK piece onto your team to do that because he doesn't ping them for 1, and now you just brought him to his first stop click. So now you just have to hit him 1 time less.
100%. Yeah.
Well, so my thinking is he's a perfect combo with Orb, actually, just because they basically make it so you're you like, hey Pete, you've rolled two ones, that now becomes a critical hit, and you have 2 different options to make that happen. So
yeah, it just sucks they don't theme. Like, that's what's really sad.
I mean, you can sneak Orb onto Gotham City Underworld if you really want to, but yes, they don't theme.
I guess you could team. Yeah.
No. He's
I don't know.
60 points of annoying.
This is a super rare I'm getting in my boosters for sealed.
Yeah.
It's kind of where and I mean, whatever, you gotta really commit to kill this guy. Like, you have to hit him.
Well, I guess if
4 times.
But you're also leaving him to the last guy.
Listen, Miles has convinced me that flurry, precision strike, 1 damage is the way to go.
I'm saying him with trick arrows. He has 2 targets.
Put him on a motorcycle. Put him on a motorcycle.
I mean, if you want, but you have trick arrows. Why are you going to pay 75 points when you can pay 70? Do you really want to charge for 4? No. Or 5? No.
No, you want to play... Yeah. I hate this guy
precision
so much.
Strike.
I actually hate him more now. I hate him more now after talking about him. So...
This is the only time Miles didn't want to put something on a motorcycle.
See, something's wrong with it right there.
I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? See, the one thing that you said that KC Green Lantern is missing is Precision Strike. I give you an annoying piece with Precision Strike.
But he's not good. Just because he's annoying and he has Precision Strike does not mean he's good.
I didn't say he was good. I'm just saying that he's not that bad.
He is that bad.
Okay, this is Simon Garth. This is Simon Garth now. We were talking about the Cock King. Okay, no. That's it. No.
All right. Next is 051.
For $20, I can tell you a lot of things. For $30, I can tell you more. And for $50, I can tell you everything.
Madame Xanadu.
Okay, so she is 35 points. She is also a side, so she will have a prime. She has Justice League, Dark, Mystical, and Past. She also has the Mystic's team ability. She's got a trait and a special damage power. She is 3 clicks long. Her trait is when an opposing effect would choose a team ability, you may instead choose that team ability. You must choose a team ability that they could have selected. So, like, Wild Card, the Porter effect. I think when you choose for Avengers, I think this works, or JLA. Would choose
because they choose a team ability. So yes.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting. I this trait, I don't quite understand exactly how it. I'm assuming that means I just make the choice for them instead of
Yeah,
them making the choice.
which is awesome.
Well, yeah, like especially like someone trying to pick Spider-Man family to try and get that, like let's
Yeah.
say they just have like a Greek or what's his name, Ghost Rider, for instance, who already has the 6. Super Sense on a 6 with Bucky's arm, and they want to give him that Spider-Man for 5/6, and you're like, absolutely no, you're not
So
going to do that.
I like that. It's just the way it's worded that was throwing me off. I was like, I think this is how this works, but it
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% on it. All right, and her damage power is prob when she uses it before the reroll. You may guess if the finalized roll will hit all targets or miss at least one target. After resolutions, if you choose correctly, Madame Xanadu can use probability control an additional time this turn. That's pretty cool. It's risky, but I mean, I like to gamble. I'd be okay with that. So her dial is her stats are all the same. She's a 4 sidestep, a 10 attack TK, a 18 super senses, and the 3 damage with the damage power. I really like her. She is great support. So I think this for 35 is perfect. Like I this is a piece I'm actually looking to get this one for sure out of the like because she's just like that's perfect for 35 points. I would take that all day.
Yeah, 35 points. You get prob and the ability to do something that nothing else really does. That team ability thing is really cool. And then TK also right there. So 35 points for that. Mystical keyword, Mystics team. Yeah, I like her a lot. It's a great recovery after Clock King.
Well, and I think TK feels pretty scarce.
You're wrong.
So I especially post rotation. I mean, I know like things are getting chopped off, but she's one of the best TK pieces we've got. So
Well, and then you also look at her too. She has past, and so this is just reaffirming that past is something people need to really look at post rotation.
that's fair. I'm always digging mystical, so but pass is not bad.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, mystical will always be good, but it's just so nice to see just a random keyword like past that you would just never think that would be able to stand on their own without the Latveria cheat with the Annihilating Conqueror.
She's amazing. I mean, sidestep, TK, prob, that trick with the team things, and she's 5 points less than Lady Mastermind. So I'm on board.
Yes.
Would you be on board if she was 40?
Yes, I still would be.
Okay.
Because
I
she's still, yeah.
I know. I wanted to clarify that because I don't want people to think that you'd be on board. You wouldn't like her if she was the same points as Lady Mastermind. Like that was the only reason why you'd play her over Lady Mastermind.
Miles, I might put her on a motorcycle.
You know what?
Why would you do that?
Well, why wouldn't you? That's the real question.
Here comes Madame Xanadu, baby.
Yeah. Vroom, vroom.
Oh, man. All right. Next is 051B.
The Alamo. Alamo. The Alamo. In the basement.
This is the Prime version of Madame Xanadu. She has Justice League Dark, Tarot, Mystical, and Past. She has a trait. I have seen it in the cards. If a player would draw a tarot card from their deck, you may roll a d6. 4 through 6, that player can't draw a tarot card this turn. If they have a tarot card in play, it remains in play. And then another trait, enter freely and unafraid, Perplex. When Madame Xanadu uses it to target another friendly character that shares a keyword with her, that character can use Mastermind until your next turn. And then a special damage power. She has her whole dial. It is probability control, unless you're John Constantine. Probability control, when a friendly character with the mystical keyword takes damage. After resolutions, you may look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's tarot deck. Put one of those cards on the bottom of that opponent's tarot deck. She has improved targeting through characters. Another character with 6 range. She has 2-point values, either 60 or 30 points. She has a 7-speed stealth, her whole dial. And then she starts on TK for both dials. An 18 super senses on her 60 point, and 18 willpower on her 30 point. And then always 2 damage with that special damage power. So on 60 points, she gets KO'd on click 8, and then on 30 points, she has 4 clicks of life. So this is the first character that's getting printed with tarot on her on her card. So this is the first character you can actually use tarot with post rotation. That won't be in silver, right? Oh yeah, well the other Madame Xanadu has it too, right? No, she doesn't actually.
No.
No, she doesn't. No.
So yeah, this will be
but
the. What's
This is
that?
the one that also
And
comes
she
with
does
the tarot
come with a
card.
deck.
Yeah,
She
I
comes
don't know
with,
what
I think,
deck.
6 cards is what it is, and they're always the same 6 cards. So there's definitely some questions that need to be answered as far as what will be legal for tarot going forward. If you have to use the DC versions of the tarot cards, if you can go back and use the older versions with her of all the other suits, the ones that she comes with, they do the same things as the Marvel counterparts. So there's nothing new that you're getting out of this, but we definitely need to know a little bit more information about her. But after rotation, she's the only person that has the tarot card keyword or tarot keyword, and that means that she's the only person that can put tarot on her sideline or whatever on the force.
I'm okay with them letting tarot stay in modern, like not even rotating, making it like the terrain. I'm totally fine.
But because of this change, right?
Yeah.
Just because of this change. That's the only reason why.
Okay.
Because if you're stuck with 6 cards, that really it really hurts, I think, her, especially as a prime. I think if she has the whole entire tarot to go through, you're able to do whatever you want.
Right.
So I think that just makes her that much stronger and that much better for 30 points. That's the only reason why. The only reason why I'm saying tarot needs to stay indefinitely is because of figures like Madame Xanadu. Because
Right.
now they have to have tarot, and
Yeah, unless
so
they wanna
now
keep-
you're gonna. That's why I think because it gives her something special. That
Yeah.
she-
But
you know.
the only inkling as to that won't be the case is because they reprinted tarot cards, and I feel like in other sets they might sneak in like a couple here, a couple there, that type of
But
thing.
technically, it's just for DC though. That's the thing though. Is they really didn't reprint it. They just made DC's version. So I
Yeah,
think that's where. Yeah.
I don't disagree with you on that point either. That was my only inkling as to that they might not is because they actually made new cards. That's all.
And maybe that's the reason why that they were selling those tarots. I know they say the sky is falling, and WizKids did it because they don't care about players. They just want to sell back stock. I'm going to try and be, the optimist and say no, they did it on purpose. They're trying to get these decks in people's hands at an affordable. Now I know 250 doesn't sound affordable, but you're getting a brick plus the full deck. Like that's affordable to me. I mean, if you actually break it down, it's like what $3 a card, if that. Technically, even less if you're also throwing the brick into it. So,
There's plenty of
yeah,
Silver
I
Age
just
stuff
personally-
in X of Swords.
yeah, no, and silver is an official format. I don't like when people say that. Well, no, WizKids is only modern. That's their only official event. That's not the case. So yeah, keep tarot in because of this change. Make Madame Xanadu like that much better because of the amount of teams that she can be built on with that, not just for mystical but also with past. Justice League having that available for Justice League helps. This helps Justice League Dark tremendously as well. So her being the only piece in modern with that currently is, I think, we need to keep the tarots in just for that to make her that much more of a must play.
There's no way that they don't fill it out some way more. If you look at her first trait, it talks about an opposing player's tarot card deck. There's no way that they are doing this trait on her on the off chance that you're playing against another prime Madame Xanadu. So I would expect them to come back quite a bit.
And the thing is, it has to be printed on their cards, so you can't quarter it. They've made it very clear as to look, we understand that tarot was a problem when it was just a free game element that you just had all the time. So now I think with investment, it's totally worth keeping it around. It's fine because it's not going to be nearly as rampant as it has been. So
mystical it will be because you're also not going to have Xanadu, but in silver you're going to have Saturnine.
Yeah,
but I'm fine with that.
But that's I mean, you're still paying 35 points for a figure on your force for that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why I think it's totally. I think this is exactly how it should have been to begin with.
When tarot cards were a free element, I don't like them. I don't like the randomness. I never played them. I like this change a lot. If somebody likes tarot cards that much and they want to play it, they can pay to play it because you have a costed thing on the board that you could potentially lose to.
If I was rocking Saturnine, either the Chase or the what do you call it?
The LE,
the LE or something. Yeah, or Madame Xanadu. That's fine. That's A-okay with me.
I do think that she is probably like I don't know if boring is the right word, but the least desirable. But again, she's still really good and very easy to build a great team around. Just what she does, bring the tarot back, and then all the other stuff that she has for support. So still really good. I just am more excited about the other ones. Next,
Primes?
The primes in general. Yeah. No,
Yeah, she's 30 points good support prime, but I mean
she's not as
I agree with
exciting
you.
as the other ones. Like the other ones, like I want to put on my team and I want to build with them way before her. But still really cool. And I guess it depends too on what we see with stuff going forward as far as how much more can tarot cards help your team. You know, maybe you do throw around them for 30 points. So she's definitely another piece that probably isn't making a huge splash day one. But after a couple more sets, she definitely could see play and definitely silver for sure.
Yeah.
Next, we have 052 Dark Side.
Though your world will suffer slowly, I grant you a quick death.
He comes in at 300 points. He's got improved movement, elevated destroy blocking and characters, as well as improved targeting, elevated destroy blocking and hindering. His keywords are apocalypse, new gods, cosmic, deity, future, past, and ruler. He only has 1 point line, which is 300, 8 range, 3 targets. Sidestep throughout. 12, 13, 20, and 5 is his stats. He has 11 clicks, but it's sidestep, psychic blast, impervious, and probability control. His first trait is what makes him pretty much the Bret Hart of HeroClix because he's Darkside was, and so Darkside is, and Darkside ever will be. Once per game, when Darkside would be KO'd, you may instead roll a d6 and turn him to the matching click number. Protected Pulse Wave. His second trait, Decimate. When Darkside KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, KO all other opposing characters that share a name with that character. And then his third trait is he can reduce penetrating damage. And when Darkside destroys a terrain marker after resolutions, you deal 2 unavoidable damage to an opposing character adjacent to a square that terrain marker last occupied and remove an action token from Darkside. In Sealed, he's a monster. In Battle Royals, he's even nuts. Even crazier. Because that first trait, if he let's say he KOs someone's Batman, and all Batmans on the map are dead.
Yep.
So that's just. So
Yeah,
I want
if you pull him, you better win, basically.
Yeah. And
I have a
modern,
question.
yeah.
Can you get through this guy in a modern timed game?
No, I don't. It all depends.
In a modern time game, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 5-point thing that makes him useless.
Yeah.
It's called the
We're
Trap
not.
Barrel.
We're not doing that, are we? This guy's
Oh,
never
100%.
useless.
No,
Well,
so
he's
This
you
guy's a
don't.
monster.
You
Well,
do
he
not.
can't-
So the reason why he's good, and I know people have already seen the meme team. Adam Friedman did it, built the team too, but it's also what I obviously wanted to use with him too is the pilot for the Ghost Rider 2099. We've already talked about the Prime Absorbing Man. Then if you didn't want to use a Prime slot, then like the best option was the Ghost Rider or the Ghost Panther 2099. But this figure for his pilot is just insane because he comes out on his last click. They can't just ignore him because he's an 11 for 4. And so they essentially have to KO him twice. I know people are doing the meme of playing 6 of them. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think if you build with one 2099, it's more than enough to make this figure worth it and to sacrifice him. That 2 unavoidable is extremely it's huge. A lot of people don't play the nifty traffic barrel. So we're trying to be the ones to tell you to play this barrel. Okay, this barrel is huge.
Let's
This
settle
barrel
down
stops
on weed
Prime
here.
Colossus. This barrel stops Kong from ignoring characters, moving outdoor blocking, elevated, all that fun stuff. And it also stops Darkseid from just simply destroying it. Because all he needs to do is sidestep into a marker, and you just deal 2 unavoidable damage to an opposing character adjacent to it.
Or he can also shoot. He can also shoot through one too. So
Yeah, he can
that's
shoot through one, but yeah, that's the good thing is though you can only pick one. So
Yeah.
I think that he's a lot more tolerable in the 300-point game just because you're able to build an entire team against him. I don't think that he'll. I'm sure someone's going to try it. I wouldn't recommend it. I think that him as the pilot for Ghost Rider 2099 is where it's at. Who also happens to have monster and mystical to the strongest keywords.
My question is, say you have multiple like 1-by-1 terrain markers, right? So if he's in his middle clicks, where he has
Yes.
sidestep, super strength, Is that? I'm assuming that means that he could sidestep through one, destroy that, pick one up, smack somebody with it, destroy it, and trigger that trait twice.
Well, if he just destroys, yeah, after resolutions, you adjacent to a square that terrain marker last occupied. So you don't get it from when he uses it in super strength.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you're a 300-point theme team with 11 clicks. You reduce penetrating damage the whole time. You have to kill him twice, depending on how hard that is depending on the roll when you kill him the first time. By the time you've killed him once, he's destroyed a bunch of pieces on the other team. Like, he's just chewing things up.
Yeah, no, I know. I that's a point denial thing that I just don't. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I think that he works better as a pilot for Ghost Rider because you're able to essentially make it into a 600-point team.
This one absolutely sees play in the monthly game. Somebody's dropping this on the board.
I think it just is too. What's that?
I look forward to the day somebody does because it's going to draw everybody's attention.
It's going
to be the most epic thing because that's Darkseid. I don't care about the rest of you. I will fight all of you to the end.
No, this is 100% Darkseid. People are trying to complain. They want like Thanos. No, this is exactly what Darkseid is. Because see, Darkseid can be overwhelmed by a full team, which is potential. There's certain teams that he can destroy.
I just know Harris is going to play this. I mean, this is like, ta-da! Here you go.
That's why when you guys win your monthly, that's when you guys say, "Sorry, Darkseid's banned."
So I think he just gets overwhelmed too fast, and not having a lower point value just to kind of play him on other teams when you want to, I think hurts him. Any piece where you can only play him at 300 points is a little bit rough, but anything like this just gets overwhelmed, I think, too much, especially on a competitive team. So he's very cool, very fun, but I just don't see him making competitive splash. As far as like one-man armies, yeah, that's the only place you're going to put him.
Yeah.
But like Old Man, or not Old Man Logan, what's the Phoenix Wolverine? What's his name? Just Wolverine? Yeah. I think that one is a much more playable one-man army than him.
But, well, you can still add to that team at 275.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still put equipment and stuff on him. I think this is a wildly cool piece.
Yeah, but if they sink through you and then you heal back up to one, it's definitely going to be hard. But I mean, yeah, he does get overwhelmed from most teams. You can probably go 3-2. I think easily. Make top cut easy. I think with this figure.
Yeah, depending on what you get matched up with, I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, next we have 053 Vandal Savage.
All right, so Vandal Savage, he's either 150, 60, or 30 points. He's got Wildcard TA, he's got Legion of Doom, Secret Society of Supervillains, Brute, Past, and Ruler. He's got two traits, a special speed and a special damage power. His first trait is when Vandal Savage would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with a character from your sideline of equal or less points with the past keyword on their last non-KO click. Then roll a d6 and heal them equal to half the result. And then you have the double slash markers, and then Vandal Savage's combat values can be modified by opposing characters' protected pulse wave. That's pretty cool. He'll always have his stats. And then his second trait is Stealth, Mastermind, Leadership, and then the double slash when Vandal Savage KOs an opposing character. After resolutions, remove an action token from him and heal him one click. He also has improved movement characters and improved targeting, can shoot out of adjacency, so that's pretty good. And then his speed power, which he only has on his first 3 clicks on his 150 line, is Charge Flurry. And then he has a damage power, which appears on click 1 and click 6, which is his top dial 150 and 60 point line, Perplex, and Shape Change. So for 150, you're getting the special speed, blades, 18 invuln, and the 3 damage, special damage. For 60, you're getting a sidestep, super strength, toughness, and the special damage. And then for 30 points, you're getting flurry, steel energy, regen, and battle fury. I don't know about the last 2 clicks, but I think he's really good at pretty much every point line. Like, I think he'll see play at 30 and constructed just because of how much he offers. Like, he's your leadership. He's got mastermind, so he's not that easy to kill. He doesn't when he dies, he replaces with something, so that's good. I don't see him as bad. He won't see play at like 150, and he's not good enough at 60. I don't think. Like if he had that speed power at 160, or sorry, at 60, I think that would make him like really playable there. But I don't think he's bad.
Yeah,
Like,
his
he offers a
dial
lot.
is just kind of weird, but it's definitely playable.
Yeah.
Can you train this guy with Etrigan?
What do you
He
mean?
dies, you bring in Etrigan. Etrigan hits, you bring in Prime Etrigan?
No. I'm pretty.
Why not?
He's
I don't know. I
you're
mean,
talking about at 30 points.
I thought it was when you
Yeah.
replaced the character, you couldn't then replace the replaced character.
Okay.
But
I'm
I'm
just
not.
asking. I
I'm
don't
not.
honestly
I'm not
know.
100. I'm not 100% on that. So
Oh, usually
I
it does
never
say that you cannot heal or replace them or anything like that. So
that's true. It usually does. Um,
you could probably do that. You bring in because it's equal or less points. So even if you play him at 30 points, he gets KO'd. You bring in the 30-point Etrigan, and then Etrigan could bring in the full Prime if you want to sync that into the combo.
but then you go from a 30-point piece to a what is that 125-point piece, I think, or something like that. Yeah, or 115. Because that's what you're going to score. If you actually pull that off, that's what you're going to score. So if they KO him, obviously.
That's a decent amount of point denial though until that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I like going from him to Etrigan because that's actually not bad. Because you go to a charge Flurry Blades exploit piece, like that's definitely not a bad thing.
Gives them a reason to leave your leadership alone.
That is true.
I think he's got a sweet suit. I think he's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I definitely like him a lot. I was gonna say if he was gonna be legal for Worlds, he's an interesting pairing with Genesis just because he's got Brute. So
yeah, he'd make teams.
Yeah,
I do like the tiger jacket and the championship belt that he's wearing for sure.
Yes,
the tiger line suit. Yeah.
I think he's 60 points doesn't sound like too much for him with everything he's doing.
No, it's more just that he's only sidestep at 60. That was my gripe with it, mainly with just because he's 60.
But
he does have stealth.
What else is he doing though?
Leadership.
He's got perplex.
He's got perplex.
Yeah.
He can move your 60-point pieces. That's the thing, right? Like once he dies and you got something else coming in, right?
I feel like I'd rather just play another 30 points of stuff on the board and play him at 30.
Yeah. I can see that.
But
fine. I don't disagree with that. I just was thinking, I guess because he's got super strength, so he can move around terrain. He's got stealth, so you can always park him in stealth, make him hard to hit.
I feel like at 50 you could make the argument a little bit more, but that extra 10 points for sidestep, super strength, 18 toughness, and perplex shape change, I don't know. Doesn't do it.
I'm not really disagreeing with you. I don't really like his point costs, but we haven't had one since Trinity War, and the Trinity War one was even more expensive.
30 points, Prime Kingpin. Final answer.
Yep, that's another one right there that'll do that.
Yeah.
And then what is it? Just going to be Brute and Ruler that he themes with? Does Kingpin have Ruler probably?
I think he does, yeah.
Yeah. But past, he also has another figure with past. So you can bring him into that past keyword. He's a cheap leadership. So, I mean, it's not too bad. He does have Mastermind to try and keep him alive. He Flurry, Steal Energy, so you always be able to heal with him, even though he's only 2 clicks deep. And then when he dies, you just replace him with another figure of past. So, like, you can have Prime Etrigan on your sideline on a past team, and then also have the regular Etrigan. So that way when he gets KO'd, you replace him with Etrigan, hopefully in a better position.
I think you walked away for a little bit, Miles, because we had a whole conversation about that.
I'm sure I did.
Right over there.
I'm sure I did. I did walk away. I had to deal with my son real quick. So, yeah.
Yeah, I asked it. So, Miles, you think you can chain them? So 30-point Etrigan, and then you can potentially get out the Prime.
They got rid of the sideline to where you have to assign things on their sideline. So yeah, you can absolutely.
Oh,
Check.
I thought there was a thing where if you replaced the character,
Nope.
you then couldn't replace it again or something like that. I thought there was some, or that's probably an
No,
old
he
rule.
doesn't. Only so only certain figures say that.
Yeah,
He does not. His does
no.
not.
So
Because
I'm gonna
yeah,
tell you that I would be really impressed when that happens to me, but I'd also be incredibly negative at that moment.
yeah. So yes,
I
that
mean,
does absolutely work. Yeah.
granted, that second part of that is tough because you have to roll, I think, like a 10 or higher to make it happen, Pete. So the second, like getting Etrigan out off of the other Etrigan hitting with an attack with a 10 or higher is a lot less likely. So
Money in the bank, Daniel. Money in the bank. Etrigan's comes out every time. Etrigan's for everybody.
I like the combo. One thing that
Yeah.
you cannot do that people were talking about is continuing to turn him into his own self by having a bunch on the sideline. When you do replace somebody, you do have to have a different set number, so you cannot do that.
yeah, you can't separately. They have to have a separate collecting
Yeah.
number.
I do like the reason why I like him on passes because you can also have another Etrigan on your team. So this is going to give you 2 chances to be able to pull out that prime Etrigan. So
Yeah, it's not a bad combo
That-
at all.
that helps.
Next, we have 054 Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Green Lantern team ability, Green Lantern core. Herald, martial artist, and past. His name is Zhong Li. He's Earth's first Green Lantern. He has willpower, traded combat reflexes. When Green Lantern uses willpower and succeeds, until your next turn, Green Lantern rolls for an effect. Using single d6, increase the result of the roll +1. He's got a speed power on his first 3 clicks and his last 2 clicks, which is Flurry. Phasing teleport is free when Green Lantern uses it and rolls a d6. Move him up to the result instead of his speed value. Then he has a damage power on 4, 5, and 6, or his low starting dial, which was shape change, close combat expert, and support. He's 100 or 65. 100 points gets you 8 clicks. 65 gets you 5 clicks. I think he's cool.
Playing
I
in
don't
the
know,
hole.
Yeah, I like him a lot, actually. I mean,
Hey,
there's a world
I
where
like-
this is a very Dan piece.
I was gonna say I like the gambling,
Yeah.
but then I make my willpower, and now you just like, yeah, I'm not attacking that piece for a turn.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is very much yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the broadsword. All of a sudden, at full, he's a 19 defense, and he does range blades. I know it's only 4 range, but he has that phasing is free, and then you roll a d6 and move him up to the result instead of his speed value. So there is a world that it's +1, so it's a minimum of 2, potentially 7. So
Yeah, I like that.
then he.
So
Yeah, I know
the,
he's.
I also like the range just make to help guarantee the willpower roll too.
Well,
Just
yeah,
to-
I'm talking, but the ring's not going to be modern when he's modern.
Oh
So.
yeah, I get that.
But yeah, I mean, 65 points. I'm not sure I like him at 65 points because, like, I want to be able to use him as an attacker, and that phasing is free with the flurry is just ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I like him at 65 because he's really like his whole shtick is being up close. He's got traded reflexes. He's got close combat expert and shape change on that top dial for his charge clicks. I think that's pretty
Oh no,
good.
absolutely. I just think that at 100 points, I think that he is actually decent enough because I mean that you're going to be placing him 50% of the time, 4 to 5 squares, and then being able to attack. Because you're always getting that +1.
We haven't talked about this that much on this episode, but this set I do think takes a step back from having higher point characters playable. I think this guy is the exception to that. You could make an argument for either one, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think once what is the next War of Light set called? Is there a name for it yet?
Legacy Lantern or Lantern Legacy.
Yeah, so when that comes out, I think this guy immediately gets another look too, just to see what else comes out of there. But yeah, right now after rotation, you're only going to be able to play the broadsword with him. So 100 points, you're getting that 19 defense. So that's not terrible. So
No, and then you can also play him with one of the gods because he does have Herald. So.
I was gonna say he's Herald, so there's that too.
oh yeah, that's that instead. So yeah. I think you look at him. I think whenever that next set comes out too. So I got to play this one more time though.
Green.
All right, the next one is 055 Caveman Wally West. So Wally West has Justice League, Animal, Past, Speedster, Warrior keywords. He does have the Hyper Time team ability. He has one trait: before man explored the land, opposing characters within 3 squares can't use super senses, and then a special speed power, hypersonic speed. When Caveman Wally West uses it, after resolutions, you may note his current click number and turn him to click 8. If you do, give him any action as free, and after resolutions, turn him to his most recent noted click number. And that click 8 is a 4 flurry, 10 blades, 17 toughness, and 2 exploit weakness. He's got improved movement characters and is 50 points. He gets KO'd on click 7. He has that special speed power his first 4 clicks, and then he moves to sidestep, and he's got super strength with a 10 attack, 18 super senses, and a 3 prob. This is similar to Shadow. I think this guy just keeps getting better the more you look at it, and well worth the 50 points.
Yeah, 10 attack hurts, but I'm fine with that. For what he does, I'm fine with 10 attack at 50 points. Like that's it's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, hypersonic speed and super strength is a very sneaky combo. Just being able to drop stuff in front of people, and right now at least, super senses is insanely strong. So just being able to turn that off is crazy.
Yeah, I know that. I was gonna say I know that piece is gonna get played against me a few times. Like, well, don't get my shtick today.
You can't nail him down either. Like, he's a flash that just moves through characters, so it's truly a flash. And you essentially have hypersonic speed and then flurry. So great.
Yeah.
I'll take the 10 attack most of the time.
I mean, there's a 5-point object that makes him an easy 11. So
yeah, 55 points. Jump out Bucky's arm, make him 11 for 4 flurry. Yeah, so yeah, this guy's definitely he's up there with as far as super rares go with like Swamp Thing and Shadow and stuff. Yeah, so and Despero. So he's easily one of my favorites of this set.
And he's got a sweet necklace, and his name is Wally West. These are all important details.
Yes.
Next we have 056 Poseidon.
I'll say this piece I was not expecting in this set, but I like him more and more the more I look at him. So even just specifically for one of his traits, so he is 100 points or 60 points. He has Cosmic Energy team ability. He's got Atlantis, Animal, Cosmic, Deity, Past, and Ruler. He's got 3 traits. His first trait is Divine Favor. When Poseidon attacks, targeted characters without the deity keyword modified defense -1. And then Safeguard, opposing perplex, and opposing prob. So you can't perplex him, prob him, and he's got Cosmic Energy, so you're not outwitting him either. His second trait is Sideline, it's from Olympus, Poseidon, Tsunami. Sideline active once per game. When a friendly character uses Quake, if all squares within 1 square of them are water terrain, that character may use Exploit Weakness, Improve Targeting Characters, and Giant Reach 6 for that attack. If they do, if Poseidon is on the map, they instead deal 3 damage to each hit character. And then his last trait is Ocean's Blessing, Quake Leadership. When Poseidon rolls a single d6, after resolutions you may generate a number of water terrain markers within range equal to the result. He does have 6 range. He is a giant, so for 100 points he's a charge, poison, invincible, shape change. And then for 60 points he's a Force Blast, Pulse Wave, Invuln, and Close Combat Expert. So I like this piece. I don't think he's playable on the field, but I think that trait on sideline is nuts. Like, this is like, okay, I will play a water map or the ability to generate water just for this.
Yeah, no, it's if we pull him in our sealed and we get lucky enough to get the Aquanics, I'm gonna definitely be playing both of them on main force.
I was gonna be like, if we don't pull Aquanics, I want this piece just because. I was like,
but no, yeah, because we can pick maps, and I 100% will say that I think that with the chance of pulling this figure, definitely need that Atlantis map ready to go.
Yep.
Because sealed is a different monster than constructed, so you can go for second.
Exactly.
So, and then getting that free Quake from that Aquanics, is just ridiculous. And then he's able to do 3 damage to each hit character with Giant Reach 6, Exploit Weakness.
And exploit, yeah. And the biggest thing too is this guy is a giant, so even if you have him, right, and you're doing it, he can be TK'd, so I mean that really increases his swing. But he's just really, I mean, I think he's really good. Like the sideline active is something I'm always going to keep this in mind. Just I think
Yeah,
Quake
no, and
is
it's
good
worth
power.
it. Yeah, like you said, you TK him up. He has close combat expert, so he's going to be an 11 because he has Quake, so he can do this himself,
Yep.
which is extremely good.
Or even if you have him at 100 and you play him for, because I don't think this is really that bad for 100 points. Like I mean, you gotta get him, you gotta kill him to click, or get him to click 8 to kill him. And he's pretty beefy up top. So
Well, on the charge, now all of a sudden I mean, 4 plus 6 is 10. He has a 10 square reach, and he's a giant that sees everything. That's going to be hit in 3. Like, that's huge. Exploit weakness, 3 damage. That just hits everything. No, I love this piece. I saw that it comes with a deity base. So I do. It does suck that it's once per game, but like I completely understand that. But then again, um, I don't like the fact that it is once per game because of how hard it is to pull it off. Every square within 1 square of them are water terrain. So that means that underneath them has to be water, and everything adjacent to them has to be water. So you're talking 9 squares of
9
water
squares of water. Yeah, that's
for
a
this
lot.
to even work. I really wish it wasn't once per game
That's
because
fair, but I think like that's what like map selection is kind of cool, like for this piece, because if you're doing it, I mean that would be my thing. Was not even there's a couple good maps that have enough water to make that work. So
there
I
is.
think
Yeah.
even like so not in Seal but in Constructed, I think him as a sideline option if you're rocking Quake is, which I think Quake is a useful power, and I feel like
A silver, I'm definitely looking at him to be on my sideline because there's ways for my Dolphin team to work, and Giganto and Namor is just ridiculous with that, giving them exploit weakness 3 damage.
that sounds hilarious. Yes.
Because you can set up to free place, and so you can set up all the water you need, even though it's a lot more water because they're 8 square. They're 2 by 2, so that's 4 squares plus what there's.
Additional like
It's a lot.
it's a lot of water.
Yeah. But you know what? I have ways of doing it, and yeah, that's just hilarious to pull that off. There you go, giant reach 6. So that's the cool thing though is that you can with the giant reach 6, you don't need to go all the way across the map. You can actually it'll be a lot easier to make the free water because you have like characters like that Namor, the Batman the animated series, Aquaman. Play 2 of those. That you're now making 6 to 18 squares of water, so for free. So yeah.
I really do like that sideline active trait a lot, but I think he still suffers from a little bit too bloated of a higher point cost too. If he was like 80 points and 50 points, I think it would be really cool to get this guy on the map. But those point values just I think make it too hard to actually play him. But he offers some cool stuff, so that's why I would want to get him on the map. But yeah, sideline active for sure because everything you guys are saying.
Yeah, I still think even the 2 damage exploit with Giant Reach 6 and stuff, like I mean that's still like that's a scary threat. So
in a world, and when Sky Tyrant goes off the bench list, I mean, Poseidon on the sideline for Sky Tyrant with Giant Reach 6.
Uh-huh.
Well, if that happens, then we'll be talking. All right, next is 057 Bat Prince.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, he does not have that Batman trait. He has Batman family, Kryptonian, past, ruler, and warrior. He's 140, 175. At 140 points, he has 3 range for all point values, but he has 8, 12, 18, 3 with hypersonic blades, impervious, and exploit. His second line for 100, he starts at 10, 11, 19, 3 with charge blades, toughness, and outwit. And then he has outwit from click 3 all the way to the end of first 10 clicks of life. And then 75 points, he's 8, 10, 18, 3 with the same powers as the 100-point line. He has a trait, Robin's Report. At the beginning of your turn, you may generate a bystander on this card that has not been generated this game. Friendly bystanders have Batman, and that's interesting. It's a double slash, so friendly bystanders have Batman, so that means all bystanders do. When a friendly bystander is missed by an attack after resolutions, you may place them into an unoccupied square up to 4 squares away from the current square. Another trait, opposing characters can't use the printed team abilities from characters in their KO area. So, yeah, luckily he's not modern, or else, Prime Wonder Woman just wouldn't be good. He has a stop click, which is on click 3 and click 9. Heir to the throne, stop, impervious. When this click is revealed, this game, Bat Prince has a flight and a range value of 5. The bystanders are Richard, who is a 7-11-18-2 with he comes with the Superman ally, obviously with the Batman as well being generated. Leap, climb, precision, combat reflexes, and outwit. You have Timothy, who has Mystics, 5-10-17-2 with sidestep, quake, combat reflexes, and perplex. Cassandra, Wonder Woman, 7-10-17-2 with plasticity, blades, senses, and shape change. And then, yeah, those 3. I'll be honest, he's just not good. This is the start of the chases, and this is a horrible first chase.
This is the first one they previewed, I think, too, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, he was the first chase that we saw, and yeah, it's interesting too because the first Colossal is the worst Colossal.
Yes,
as well, which is the Batwalker. So maybe they did that on purpose. I don't understand why the values have to be so expensive. But like you said, this set they're making like the higher point lines just useless.
It seems like a little bit of a soft reset, kind of like Wonder Woman 80 was.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about this is that like I hate the 100 point dial, I hate the 75 point dial, and it's not like he's good at 140, but that's the most playable, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah, for 100%. If he was like one, yeah, that's I guess. Yeah, I don't even know really, especially when you're comparing him to figures like Kong and stuff like that. It's just. I'd like him to be good. He does some unique things. Giving bystander stealth is extremely good. But yeah, you just don't play him for that. Even at 75 points. Like this is something where someone's like, I'm gonna make this figure good. I'm going to be the person to do that. And I'm gonna just tell you, just don't be that person because it will never happen. It's just sad.
So that's coming from Miles, everybody. So do not build with Bat Prince. Don't even try
it. He reminds me of Spider Knight from Wheels of Vengeance. They both offer something unique, but they're just not good.
That's a great call. That's exactly what I thought when I saw him. I thought, oh, it's a more expensive Spider Knight.
Yeah, it looks cool, but just I don't know what you're doing with him.
Well, you can play them together because they both have suits of armor.
Hey, come on. At least I can't defend Spider Knight. I really want to, but I just can't.
Yeah, come on, let's do it.
Well, you could play them on a fun, casual weekday and not feel bad about it because you're probably going to lose.
No. I'm not going to defend Bat Prince. I was trying to defend Spider Knight, but I can't defend Spider Knight either because he's just bad.
No, yes, it's rough. Yeah, it's just the 10 attack is just rough for a chase.
I know.
It's just.
I wanted that piece to be good because he does like some really like unique, cool stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, he's still bad. Though.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and so does he. I mean, he has Batman and Superman. He does sweet things with bystanders, but he's just. I mean, Ruler. You look at it too. I mean, I guess you play him at 75 Ruler with Strife. Maybe that's 125 points to your build on Ruler,
but also maybe not.
Yeah, I'd
hear me out. Throw a Prime Colossus on there, and now we're talking.
You know what? Ooh. You've convinced me. Bat Prince is good. Bat Prince Ruler. Colossus.
Next!
All right.
Like, do we have to go over these chases?
That's the worst one. They get better significantly.
They do get better.
Fine. Prince Kal-El.
Yeah, here we go.
Batman team ability, Superman team ability, Kryptonian Cosmic Pass Ruler Warrior. You don't look like a monster. You just look scared. Characters take a maximum of 3 damage from attacks. Characters without the mystical keyword can't positively modify their attack value when attacking Prince Kal-El. Second trait is Prince of Kingdom of El. Leadership. When Prince Kal-El uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, he may remove an action token from a friendly character with Superman team ability or Batman team ability. And then he has a speed power on a few clicks. Justice will be done. My sister, hypersonic speed once per turn when Prince Kal-El uses it. and hits after resolutions. Another friendly character with the ruler keyword may make an attack targeting a hit character. So he's 150, 100, or 75. He's a beat stick
I
and
think
sealed at 150.
Yeah, I think he's still playable in modern at 75. Like that's, I mean, he hits like a brick.
He dies
So,
so
The next
fast.
figure, the next figure is better
Yeah.
for 25 points less. It
If-
does
yeah.
the same thing.
I know he
I think you-
said they get better, but it does not happen
Well,
immediately.
If
Yeah,
you
but
want to put
this-
75 points of this on the board, Dan, I
Thank
will
you.
work the 75 points every time. You play him anytime you want. That is the quickest 75 points from like stuff that just Pensai. Like, yeah, come on, man. This is.
Okay, well, you got to take into account his first trait. That's kind of like that's where his point cost is coming from because characters take a maximum of 3 damage from attacks. So
And
Yeah,
he's
but
going to be
also hurts
taking
your-
damage from attacks. So
I
Yeah,
get
but also hurts
Good
you,
for him.
and that's why I said that the next figure that we'll go over is exactly why they're better.
Yeah,
she's better.
characters
You're
take a
alpha.
maximum damage of 3 attacks, so doesn't that limit him too?
it does, yeah.
Yes,
we might as well have
Yeah.
a printed. I guess that through reducers and everything, but
But it's the second part too. Is characters without the mystical keyword can't positively modify their attack value when attacking him. I understand he's a 17. I don't get why he's a 17 for 75 points, but that not modding your stats is, I mean, I still think that's pretty good, but
yeah, but it's just attacking him. That's the problem, man. Like you said, he's only a 17,
yeah.
and then he goes
so I
18,
don't,
18, drops to a 16. Like it's
yeah,
just
so I don't
yeah.
really get what was going on there, but like he just does a lot of like very unique things, and so I'm like okay, I'm interested, but I don't get what they were going
Yeah.
for here.
that's more than I am.
So
Oh,
Takes a
5'9",
max of-
Diana. No,
Hold
he's
on a
terrible.
second.
Come on,
I
no.
have a question.
He's
And I have a
terrible.
question.
He's terrible.
He's what? That's fine. We're just gonna ignore the fact that Miles doesn't want to talk about pieces and Dan is. Like, what's happening here? Dan, tell us to put it on a motorcycle. It'll be better.
I can't do
No.
that. I can't do
Wait,
that.
wait. The next figure. That's how you make the figure better.
We'll talk about the next
So yeah,
figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is the figure that I thought was like good right out the gate. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she's great. So this
Yeah.
is Diana. She's 059. She has Amazon, Kryptonian, deity, past, ruler, and warrior. She's got 2 traits and a special speed and a special defense power. She's either 150, 100, or 50. Her first trait is unique modifier. Other friendly characters within 4 squares modify attack +1. When a friendly character with the Kryptonian keyword makes an attack after resolutions, they may use sidestep. So that includes her. It's really cool because she has the keyword. Her second trait is Empower. When Diana attacks, if it was the first attack this turn, after resolutions, place another friendly character that shares a keyword with Diana adjacent to her. So she doesn't have to hit, she just has to make the first attack. Pretty easy, considering you can put a motorcycle on her and give her hypersonic speed and get her literally across the map. So
The other powers are useless. You never play them. But yeah, go ahead.
what was that?
Yeah. I said it just sucks because like she doesn't have these powers on her lower dial, and that's the only point value you
Yeah.
play her at.
Again,
Yeah,
all,
I mean-
all 3 of these, they're way better at their highest point line. The lower 2 are not playable, and still 150 points is way too much.
I still
No,
think,
Diana's playable at 50.
yeah, I was
No,
gonna say
she's
I
just
think
the best
like-
of the 3.
She is, but being able to place someone adjacent to her all the way across the map, you give her a health cycle, she gets all the way across the map. She's placing someone adjacent to her with Empower. So now you're placing somebody that's going to be even doing more damage.
and she's modding their attack value because it's
Yes.
all friendly characters within 4. So
She actually does something really good for 50 points, and I think it's worth giving her a health cycle for hypersonic.
Sounds like you're hand delivering a good 100 points to your opponent.
Yeah, but that means your opponent is going to be alive. There's
I
certain
even-
figures that she can bring. She has past keyword, okay? So
I even just like her at 50 as just like she's my leader, also tertiary, and like I can still get that trait off without having to like send her all the way across the map. So
she's playable. That's the point, is that she's playable of the first 3 that you see her across the map and you'll see why someone's playing her, because like she's not that bad for 50 points. The other 2 are just like, oh,
She's just
kitchen
the
table
least...
with your kids, huh?
So we keep saying 50 points. How are you getting a health cycle on her?
well, no,
Isn't she
she's
65
65 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be 65. Yeah, I'm just saying
I mean,
this.
I might not. I might not do that just because I don't necessarily need to sell out for the bit. Like that's like it's fine. But I think at 50, she's just good as like your third string attacker. That is also your leadership. That gives you empower, the second part of that trait, and then the unique modifier. Like that's in my book. That's good for 50 points. So, and she has Superman ally and Wonder Woman team ability. She's a 10, 11, 18, 4 top dial with charge, blades, invuln, and leadership. So,
I mean, there's a world where she hits ruler for leadership and being able to place something else next to her and warrior
Not my world.
and path. But yeah, I don't. I like her better than the last two.
Even if she had that special speed power on her, just the first click of her 50-point line, maybe. But I think it's just that she's the best of the three that we've seen so far.
I mean, well, excuse me if she's not Sky Terran for 50 points, but
You're excused.
Or Kong. You know?
well, her special speed power she only gets on clicks 1 through 4 is Charge Flurry, and she gets improved movement characters. And when she uses Flurry, the first attack deals pen damage, and then characters hit by the second attack are given an action token.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Get out of here. It's good.
It's
That's
good.
great for her.
It's good, but she's 150 points.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we are going to move on. We have 060 next.
You are
Green Man.
Petty tonight.
Power Cosmic, Green Lantern Corps Assassin, Cosmic, Mystical Past and Politician. Thank God Politician's back. He's got a...
I'm making a prediction. Politician will make the top 32 at Worlds.
Oh, it's a terrible prediction.
I like it. So anyway, 150 or 30. So...
It's going to make it.
Are we making bets tonight?
Does it? I mean, okay. So granted, Scott Porter has all keywords, so technically, politician would make top 32.
That's a good point.
No, I'm talking about a theme team, a politician theme team.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you didn't specify, Miles. You just said politician.
Yeah.
You did not specify.
Yeah, politician theme team. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, this figure's actually
those first three chases really derailed this.
good. Yeah, this is. And once
It doesn't
again,
matter.
we're never going to see. Because
It doesn't matter. Just kill. Energy Explosion, Pensai. Once per turn, when Green Man KOs a character after resolutions, he may make an attack. Then he has a. Then you'll never see that low dial. Then he has a defensive power, all low dial, invincible, and mastermind. And then he has a damage power. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Full Boy, so you don't see that low dial either. And the damage power that's what you do see low dial. And this is how the world is saved. Enhancement, Outwit. Once per game, when an adjacent friendly character hits, you may choose that hit characters can't use stop this attack, and adjacent friendly characters modify range +1 and have improved targeting elevating. So, Full Boy, he's running shot, 12, energy explosion, Pensai, with that special defensive power and probability control, and then for his 3 clicks at 30, he's running shot, Pulse Wave, then barrier and the special damage power. I think he's at 30 playable. I think you can look at him on Assassin. I think you can look at him in Cosmic. I think you can look at him in Herald, Mystical, Pass, and of course Politician, which is making top 32 at Worlds.
Yes.
So on Assassin, he's kind of a nightmare, right? Like you get that attack off of somebody and you're just blowing through a stop click.
Yeah, you're giving enhancement and outwit to assassins for 30 points. So, like, just alone right there, that's really good. Running shot, pulse wave.
Also, I was gonna say also pulse wave. There's not a lot of pulse wave on assassin, so
yeah,
barrier.
Yeah,
and
actually, he's
also, you know what? Actually, I didn't even look at that, but that's one of the biggest things that assassin lacks is protection. So I actually like that a lot.
And I like him with the real hard thing is like, do you go with a god? Or do you give him the broadsword? Because the broadsword, he has 6 range. And so you'll have a 19 defense with blades from range. So,
see, I feel like I'd go with the god just because I think a lot of assassins have stealth, so I'd probably go with like Khonshu.
Yeah,
honestly,
I I would go the broadsword because at 30 points, he's still a very reasonable attacker, and you're just
Yeah.
rolling blades the whole time.
See,
Yeah,
I
mainly for 19 defense. That's what I was talking about. 19 defense. So
Yeah.
But giving him stealth
for
and prob with a 6 range, that's really good. And you're probably
Yeah.
playing stealth because you're having an assassin team anyway. So going
it
high.
just
is
sucks that he
hindering.
doesn't gain improved targeting hint. Improved targeting elevated.
yeah, but only
He
for
gets that, yeah.
only for adjacent characters.
That's what I mean.
so-
Yeah, he doesn't get that. But yeah, he's assassins needed barrier. I know there is such things as Mern, but sometimes you can't be scared of a boogeyman. You just gotta go with it. And when you're looking at what assassin missing, obviously they have barrier with porters, but
I mean,
we're talking
again,
post
also
rotation.
Pulse Wave
Yeah.
that you can't outwit because he has
Yeah.
protected outwit, so he's just
Yep.
you potentially are just gonna get the Pulse Wave off.
But this is another example too, where it's just a high point dial that's I think unplayable. 150 points. When are you ever putting that guy down on the map for 150?
Sealed.
Yeah, he's a bomb and sealed.
Yeah, probably.
Sealed.
Still.
The only time you play him at 150 is in a battle royal.
But yeah, so like when the set first drops, and then after that, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be 30 points.
Yeah.
Like I love his 30-point line, though. Don't get me wrong, but that the top dials on some of these are just way too overcosted.
Well, and it's even built to where he should have 3 starting lines.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because he's got it should be like click 3, right, with running shot, the side
Yeah,
blast,
or-
and then
or
the invuln.
yeah. That the perplex one, yeah, that should have been it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
that's
you only
kind of
have
what it
to
looks
blame-
like, right?
Well, yeah, because if you look at if you look at Diana and Kal-El and Bat Prince, they are the same way. They have 3 separate starting lines.
I don't want to go back and look at them, but I do remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Just take his word for it, yeah, for sure.
There's a little pettiness in the air tonight. I like it.
I mean, I expect it every time, but I'm not going to deal with it today.
So he's got an awesome 30-point line. Next is 061 Harley Quinn.
Just think, Mr. J!
She has the Kryptonian, celebrity, and past keywords. She has team player. First trait is Gesture of Castle L. When Harley Quinn would take 3 or more damage, she takes 1 damage instead. Another trait, Wood from the Hob Forest. Free, remove an adjacent non-debris hindering terrain marker, then generate a fire smoke terrain marker in each square that marker last occupied. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost, deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers, then remove the markers. And then a special attack power, Pulse Wave. When Harley Quinn uses it, friendly characters are not dealt damage, and after resolutions, friendly characters within range modify attack +1 until your next turn. So she has 30 points, 4 range, 2 bolts, running shot with an 11 attack, and that special attack power. Super senses 17 and a 2 damage prob. The only difference on her dial, she has 4 clicks of life. The only difference is after she takes some damage on clicks 3 and 4, she goes to sidestep instead of running shot. And with that first trait, she should see those ones also. So 30 points, she's actually pretty good support, I think. Prob and Pulse Wave, and a little bit of a bonus Pulse Wave. But only celebrity and pass. I know Miles likes
really
pass. Yeah.
I'm just saying, no, yeah, the past and celebrity, of course, but yeah, I mean, she does have that that Scott Porter-ish pulse wave. So we'll see how much she takes off. We'll see how Kong lasts during the errata. Titania is starting to look better and better. Yeah, she's extremely good, especially for past.
I think
Sure.
she's just good for 30 points. Like, I mean, she's definitely playable.
Running shot,
I
pulse
agree.
wave, and you have to decide that you're going to attack her 4 times unless you're doing some pulse wave with knockback or something. So, yeah, there's your prob. There's a really good pulse wave. So 30 points, super playable. So that's 2 good back-to-back chases. Let's see. Next we have 062 Zala Jor-El.
So for everything that I argued with Diana, Zala Jor-El is the piece that you're going to pick. She has Amazon, Kryptonian, Cosmic, Past Warrior. 100 points and 50 points, 6 range. The 100 points is 10, 11, 18, 4 with hypersonic speed and invincible. And then her clicks 2 and 3 drops to charge, same stats, and exploit weakness. And then her low line starts at click 4 for 4 health. She has 10, 11, 18, 4. So same stats. But hypersonic speed and impervious drops down to charge, invulnerability with a 17, 10, 3. And then her last two are 8, 10, 17, 3, and 8, 10, 18, 3 with running shot and invulnerability. She has 3 traits. Her first is when Zala Jor-El KOs an opposing character with the assassin or spy keyword, you score 10 additional victory points. When Zala Jor-El attacks, opposing characters can't use Mastermind or Shape Change. Her second trait is a unique modifier. Other friendly characters within 4 squares modify damage +1. When a friendly character with the Amazon keyword deals damage, that damage can't be reduced below 1, which is interesting because that does work with poison. And her last trait is Our Father Deserves Justice. When Zala Jor-El hits, if it was the first attack this turn, after resolutions, you place another friendly character that shares a keyword with Zala Jor-El adjacent to her. This is the piece that you play because you don't need to worry about putting on a health cycle, UTK, or she gets full map. So
she does have to. She does have to hit, but yes,
Yeah,
she's just
of course,
flat out.
yeah.
She dies
She's
so
just
fast.
Huh?
She dies so
That's
fast.
fine.
That's not fine.
That's fine. It's fine.
She's better than Diana.
100% better than Diana. She's
Yeah.
extremely good. Giving the +1 damage is extremely good. Since she has passed, there's a lot of things in there that just I think work well. I know that she goes down easy, but she's only 50 points compared to Kal-El, who is 75, or Diana, who's 50 and starts with charge. She actually can get across the map, and then you know what? You want to go ahead and play your assassins. I'm getting 10 extra points.
I mean, I also like that she just has like better keywords. She is cosmic. I mean, cosmic's I think is gonna come back, so it's. I think you're only gonna see more of that. So, and then her attacking and getting through Mastermind and Shape Change is kind of a big deal. I know Kong has been like running around rampant, but Shape Change is still like a really good power, and Mastermind's been kind of like on the fringe, but still good. So. I mean, the 50 point, like, this is a tough call. Like, I don't think she's bad for 50. Is she, like, amazing? No, but I definitely don't
No,
think
she
she's
just
bad.
allows you to get a double Alpha Strike on. That's exactly what it is. Alpha Strikes, you're always going to have a chance that your figures are going to die. But
she's got to be up there to take advantage of, like, what she has. And so you're kind of handing them, another 100 points, 150 points with all the pieces that you're bringing up to take advantage of her?
Yeah, but it depends. That's why you're going straight aggressive. So it depends on the pieces that you bring. There's pieces in past that you can go ahead and just bring over there that just eats teams. Like Captain America, the one thing that really hurts him right now is trying to deploy him.
Sure.
You're able to just place him straight into their starting area and take out their biggest threat that can't use defense powers.
I mean, Blackheart gets a ton of play. This is like a Blackheart that you have to hit with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd if I pulled her, I wouldn't be terribly upset about it. I'm not going to seek the piece out.
No, and you give her if in silver you give her the blue ring, she's now bumping someone's damage by 2. But the Captain America though, if he has the Bucky's arm, he's now hitting an 11 for 5.
Yeah, because he's going to lose the Skybreaker sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly better than the first 3 chases, but yeah, like Pete said, she's kind of neat. I'm not going to seek her out probably, except I will because I collect them all. But
yes. Seek out 3 of them.
No, I'll have one. This is definitely not a family of 3 piece right here.
See, but this next piece though, this is great. This piece I'll actually be seeking out. Unfortunately, I was like, here I was like, maybe not. But next one is King Jefferson. So this is Jefferson Pierce or Black Lightning. He has the Amazon Mystical Past Politicians and Ruler keywords. He's got 2 traits, a special attack power and a special damage power. He's 60 points. His first trait is Your Kind is not welcome here. Opposing characters can't use Super Strength, Superman ally, or Flight if they're within 7 squares of your starting area. His second trait is Power. Once per game, if King Jefferson is occupying an opponent's starting area, choose a square on the map for each character in your KO area. Deal 3 penetrating damage to opposing characters adjacent to or occupying one or more of those chosen squares. And then his damage power, or his attack power, which appears on click number 5, is Stop Pulse Wave, and then his damage power, which he has on every click, is Enhancement Leadership. Friendly characters that share a keyword with King Jefferson can use Prob, but only during range attacks. So that's kind of cool. He starts with Sidestep for 3 clicks, and then he has Precision for 2, and then he's starting a 19 Defend, and he gets 19 for 2 clicks, and then 18 Defend, and then he has that damage power, his whole dial. And then his like middle click on click 3 is Sidestep, Side Blast, the Defend, and the damage power. And then his last 2 are Running Shot, and then either Side Blast or the Pulse Wave Stop Power, and then Willpower. So he's got 5 range, 2 targets. I think he's really good. He's got good keywords.
He doesn't share keywords with Mern. You give him the barrel. Now he's shutting off improved movement and super strength. So it's going to be that much harder to KO to even get to your team.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. So.
Yeah, he's extremely good. And the 19 defense, huge.
Yeah, this guy's great. I really like him a lot. I mean, 19 is still 19. I don't really rely on high defense. But
it's extremely good. It makes other figures good that their defense sucks.
Yeah, I'm just thinking more for me. It's more. I'm relying on his trait, his enhancement and stuff. He's my leadership piece. That's more what I'm banking on. Especially with Mystical. Mystical's been kind of the leadership. There's not a lot of it right now, and he's a pretty solid choice for that. So I think for me, he definitely gets to look post rotation.
And he's got that.
The politician definitely needed enhancement, so that was huge.
He does have the stop click on his attack power, which is great for against pieces that are always saying that you can't use your defense powers. So that's a nice change for him. I still think I'd rather see a little bit lower of a point cost again, even though he's doing some cool things. The biggest thing for me, though, is it shuts down Harris at our monthly games because he always finds a way to play Superman characters and uses all those powers. So being able to shut that down just a little bit, I'm absolutely going to play this the first chance I get.
But the thing is, you have to be in your starting area or within 7 of your starting area, and I feel like that's kind of hard with the Storm. So unless you want to go to the middle of the map and sit there, because that's totally.
Well, no, it's only 7 squares of your starting area. So even it's not 7 squares from him; it's only your starting area.
That's what I mean.
So you have to pick. You have to pick your location then. But
so
I think he's cool.
He's pretty neat.
Yeah, he's definitely unique. I think he's a really well thought out piece, honestly.
Shutting down flight on a small map though, from 7 squares away, that's a pretty big deal. Something like Extinct Volcano, that really shuts that down.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually, just because. Although I think Extinct Volcano is going to rotate before.
It could.
Before he actually hits the board. So, but on that map, I like because I like playing on Extinct Volcano. That is pretty funny. You're just like, are you actually getting to me? I don't think you are.
And you can't fly over people then either. So yeah, I think this guy's cool, and definitely some ways to build around using him for sure. Persistent Strike is always great too. So. All right, next we have the 064 Superman. He is Justice League, Kryptonian, Metropolis, Past, and Reporter. He's got the Hypertime team ability and the Superman ally team ability. He is only 100 points. He has a 4 range, 1 bolts with flight. Special attack power is whole dial. Starts with a 7 speed, 12 super strength, 19 invincible, and 4 leadership. He has a trait rewinding the Earth's spin. Once per game, at the beginning of your turn, if a standard friendly character was KO'd by an opposing effect since the end of your last turn, you may have each player, starting with you, place all figures on their force into their starting area on their starting clicks. If you do, each player may generate any number of non-bystander characters with a cost greater than 0 from their KO area into their starting area on their starting clicks, so long as doing so does not bring the total points of characters on that player's force above their build total. Each player scores 100 victory points and your turn ends. And then his special speed power he has his whole dial is hypersonic speed. When Superman uses it, he can use probability control. So this guy, I think he is something that's neat, but I think kind of like, what was that piece from, I think, Earth X, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
I think it's you might be able to make it work for a couple games, but I don't think it ends up doing enough in the end. But it's a very cool piece. What do you guys think about this one?
They had a very close call to making this broken. Luckily, your turn ends.
Yeah, that's the thing. If your turn,
That's the one. Yeah,
if your turn didn't end, there would have been a problem. But your turn immediately ends, so it's fine. He's a gimmick, but it's neat. I mean, that's what ultra chases I feel like are supposed to be. For the most part, they're not necessarily like a meta staple piece. It's just like they do something like super unique that you're not going to get anywhere else. And he definitely does that.
I think you get some metal staple pieces out of Ultra Chases, like obviously Thanos and obviously Mephisto hit the table a ton. But then I think you get these other ones, which are like, like Peggy Carter, when she that came out for Captain America, and then like the Captain Marvel from Earth X. And they're cool pieces. He's not for nothing not a terrible attacker. Hypersonic that gives you prob, 12 attack, 4 damage. I mean, that's okay. But I don't know. I love the sculpt, and I love the homage to Christopher Reeve in the movies and stuff. So I think it's very, very cool.
He is a little slow for a Superman. Like, he's 100 points, and that 7 speed's kind of like, are we sure? But
at least it's hypersonic speed, and he has range.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not. I just.
Well, they also shrunk the map, so if you look at it that way, he would normally have a 10 speed.
That's true. I'm just thinking because he's 100 points and he's the Ultra Chase, so you're paying a 30-year build. Yeah, he's got.
They have horrible like top dial point costs in this set. Like that's one complaint for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a complaint. Is the top dial like I want the higher point dial costs to be playable. I thought that was the whole point. Was like you're paying more points, so you're getting like a pretty good bump for what you're getting, and it doesn't feel like that in this set.
And Deadpool Weapon X was so close to that.
Yeah.
All right, that was
the fact that we have Christopher Reeve and Zodderson on and cliX, I think is awesome.
Oh yeah, very cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing this guy again, like just for fun too. I just don't want to see this guy try to get broke by someone trying to just win off points with Mercy Rule or something like that. Or something else.
Could you do that? Like you get down to 200 points and then you pop this out and just say, 300 a game.
No,
you need 400 points.
You'd have to be at 300. So if you get 300 through other means, then you could do it and just get 400 and the game is over. But the big thing is like just bringing back. So if there's pieces that really shouldn't be brought back or something like that. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. But I just think that traits like this can lead to people trying to work out something where something gets broke.
I don't know. There was a time when people really tried to make that Captain Marvel work, and it had like a tournament, like a day, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, you just murder this guy, so forget it."
I think he won one event. Was it a states event after, like right before he rotated? He was out for a while.
Yeah, I think it was like that one time where it was a states event, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But like his gimmick was so hard to pull off too, because I think how did he work? Hold on, he was different, but
I know you picked like an edge of the map and you brought everybody back on their last click. It was pretty close.
I mean, we had a pretty fun like just hang out like friendly game the one time with him, but that was it. Like, he didn't have a move and attack, right?
He didn't. He had phasing his hold out.
Yeah.
So it's once per game, and he has to be KO'd. So instead, give him 3 resurrection tokens and place him on his card. At the beginning of your turn, if he's on his card, you remove a resurrection token. When the last one is removed, you place him on any square along the edge of the map on click 3, Protected Pulse Wave. And then his second trait is when he's placed on the map using his first trait. All standard characters that were KO'd this game are placed on the map on their starting click this game and given a spirit token. Friendly characters are placed along the same edge of the map as Captain Marvel, and opposing characters on the opposite edge. Until your next turn, characters placed this way can't be attacked. This game, characters with the spirit tokens can't be replaced, can't generate bystanders, and aren't scored. This game, when a character with a spirit token takes damage, remove it. So it's that was like super gimmicky. This one's a little easier to get, obviously, but
it's cleaner.
Yeah, it's much cleaner.
All right, going into the Colossals now, we have 065 Batwalker.
I'm Batman.
Batwalker, Batman, Team Ability, Batman Family, Justice League Animal Brute, Detective Past. He's got the Jurassic League trait, which I think comes up quite a bit. Quake is free, but only if Batwalker hit with an attack this turn. He's got 4 starting lines, 300, 200, 150. He's got 2 traits, and then he does have a speed power on one of his higher pointed lines. Defender of Growtham City. If Batwalker occupies a printed square of hindering terrain, lines of fire drawn to any square Batwalker occupies are hindered. Adjacent friendly characters can use stealth. That's pretty cool. Hunting Joker's Art. An opposing character kills a friendly character, give that character a revenge token. When Batwalker attacks a character with 1 or more revenge tokens, modify his attack and damage +1. And then the speed power on, I think it's his 100-point line, it looks like. He does have it as other lines also, but starts at 100 point. Running shot when Batwalker attacks a character on a lower elevation, damage dealt is penetrating. I don't know. There are some of these that are really awesome, and this is, any
Not it.
time you get
See,
giant
I feel like-
dinosaurs.
I
Giant
feel like if you
dinosaurs
would've
are
had,
pretty
like-
sweet, but I'm good.
I feel like if he would have had 1 click of the running shot clicks on his low dial, that would have been fine. Like that would probably have made him like actually playable at 50. But
Yeah, I think he's the
it's not good.
worst out of the Justice League ones, the Batwalker.
yeah,
Yeah.
Listen,
So,
it's
10-year-old me would have been stoked about Justice League dinosaurs. Okay.
Oh no, I'm not saying for sure. The sculpt is still worth collecting.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all you do is collect dust. You just won't ever really play this figure. I guess, at home and sure, whatnot. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just not. After seeing what the other ones do, they're just so much better. And I'm not a huge Batman fan. He doesn't really do much, but yeah, I mean, he's okay.
Yeah, the other ones are way better. Do you want to go into Super Store?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Justice League Kryptonian Trinity, Animal, and Past. He has 300, 200, 150 points. His has 2 traits and a special speed power that is pretty much throughout his entire dial. The first trait, Jurassic League, which is Quake is free, but only if Super Sword hit with an attack this turn. Defender of Metropolis, defend, support is free, but only to choose smaller characters. And his special speed power is punch you into space and back into Earth. Charge, but do not have speed. And then he has free, place Super Sword adjacent to an opposing character he knocked back at least 1 square this turn, then make a close attack targeting that character. He's one of the 3 playable Justice League figures in competitive. I'm a little disappointed in the sculpt because the original appearance of him had a Brachiosaurus, like he had that, that nose on top of his head, so that would have been really sweet to see instead of just the bland look. But no, I think he's extremely good at 50 points. The one thing people need to look at is he placed adjacent to an opposing character he knocked back at least 1 square this turn. So if you knock them back from their starting area, they don't do anything. So that's very important to remember. But yeah, there's ways to get him full map. The 8, 11, 17, 4 throughout his entire is he starts out at 50 points with just super strength throughout, impervious, and then battle fury. It's hard because he has no stop clicks, but I still think at 50 points you go ahead and play him. Animal, he's extremely good on. Past Justice League potentially, but I do like him, and the sculpt is just massive.
Because he can charge without having speed, and then he can also use Quake if he hits, and then if he hits somebody back, he can make a 3rd attack, right, in 1 turn?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So way better. And then he does have a really cool team up card. Do you want to go over that one too? Or what it adds at least?
Oh yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah, his team up card, and this is going to be really hard to pull off, but so his team up card adds a trait called Team Up Protecting Prehistory. At the beginning of the game, if all friendly characters have a Justice League trait, you may choose a friendly character. If that character's next highest point value is no more than 50 points higher than their current point value, turn them to their next highest starting line. That becomes a new starting line and point value. So pretty much what he's saying is you're able to move anyone from 50 points to 100. So you're limited to just using a Jurassic League. It's like that's what really hurts it because you can't play multiples with team up cards. But I mean, it gives. I mean, it could be fun playing all 6 of them. Maybe that's what you do. Maybe Batwalker is a lot better at 100, so you're going to make him 100 points instead of 50. And so now, but I know it just gives your opponents 100 points, but
Yeah, but if you're playing this, you're literally playing it because you have a giant team of Jurassic Justice League dinosaurs. Okay, so you're willing to lose that 100 points because you're like, look at my Justice League dinosaurs and quake in fear.
Yeah, my kid self, like my son's seen this, my daughter's seen this, and like, yeah, they want the dinosaurs because dinosaurs rule.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, you explained it well. Charge, don't have speed, hit. Quake is free, and then if you hit again, then somebody else is getting punched. So that's a pretty good little run of attacks there. So
We have a later figure that's able to get him full map, 2 of them full map. So then you're talking a 6-attack alpha. So if you're able to pull that off, like it's pretty devastating.
Yeah, this one I do like. Next one though is 067 Wonder Dawn.
So yeah, she's either 250, 175, 100, or 50. She has the Wonder Woman team ability. She has Amazon, Justice League, Trinity, Animal, Brute, Past, and Warrior. She also has the Jurassic League trait. She has a second trait. Actually, she has 3 traits. Her second trait is Defend. Friendly characters that share a keyword with Wonder Dawn can use Mastermind, but only to choose her. Her third trait is Power. Once per game, if Wonder Dawn is outdoors, place her up to 6 squares away. If you do after resolution, she may use Quake as free, but instead deals damage equal to her printed damage value. That's pretty good even at her 50-point line because she's a 4 exploit. So, and then her attack power, which appears on clicks 1 through 3, 7 through 9, and then 13 through 15, is opposing characters within 3 squares can't use Perplex or Outwit. So that's not bad. And then, so she does get that at her 50-point line. Her 50-point line is a 6 charge, that 11 with that attack power, 18 impervious, 4 damage exploit. She's 4 clicks deep. I don't think she's not playable, but she is an easy target, unfortunately, with just the 18 defense. But if you're
She's actually better at 50 than she is at 100, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
Is she? Where's her 100-point line? Oh yeah, because she's. Why is she Flurry Blades 19-3? What is that?
Yeah, that's yeah.
They should have moved it up a click at least or something.
She does have the super senses on a 6, but yeah, with no stop click for 50 points, she's probably going to get taken down. But if you can get that power off, that could be pretty devastating.
That's what I was thinking. Is if you have to win map, or your opponent is like, yeah, I'm gonna place you outside, sure. But I think that part in and of itself could be good. It's like, well, yeah, it's a one-time gig, but still 4 pen Quake with everybody within 3 because she's a Colossal could be pretty deadly. So
it's just so hard to look at them knowing that the 50 points that we're looking at are even the Colossals like Kong. Like Kong is the Colossal that we're trying to compare all these new Colossals to, because I mean he was the first one to be released, and so it's just extremely disheartening that we got Kong from Iconics, and then we're having these ones that are going to arguably be twice as much, if not triple, the amount that he is, and that's just for the collectability of it. It's what just makes it so hard. Like no stop clicks or anything, and it's like, wow, I want them to be playable so much, but like you said, they're Justice League dinosaurs. So I mean, you have 2 best things going for them.
Yeah, like they're
they
cool.
Should reduce penetrating all of them, right?
Yeah,
they're dinosaurs.
Yeah, they should all
think.
No, they should have. Oh yeah, they should have no invincible. They should all have impervious that reduces pin.
Yeah,
like or invuln or something. It's at least something for
Well, they should too, because they're outwittable.
Yeah.
So I mean, that doesn't make them broken. That just makes them like more resistant. One outwit on them, and you're still chewing through their dial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next we have 068 Mr. Mind. He's a big caterpillar. He has Secret Society of Supervillains, Time Stealers, Animal, Armor, Robot, Vehicle. He has the Cosmic Energy Team ability, improved movement through blocking, destroys it. He's got 3-point value. 3-point values 250, 150, and 100. He has a trait at the beginning of the game, or what is it? Venusian biosuit? Venusian.
He's from Venus.
Venusian.
Okay. Well, I guess everyone knew that but me. At the beginning of the game, you may generate an 006 Mr. Mind on any click onto Mr. Mind's card. This game, that character may be given range, close, and free actions and uses powers and abilities while on Mr. Mind's card, and does so as if it occupies Mr. Mind's squares. When Mr. Mind is KO'd after resolutions, place the 006 Mr. Mind on its starting click from Mr. Mind's card into a square Mr. Mind last occupied. And then he has a stop click on click 11 awkwardly. So you do get that on 100 points, it looks like, though. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is just stop and impervious. So for 100 points, you start him on click 8. He takes 3 damage and then gets a random stop click. And then he keeps going for 5 more clicks. And then he also has a special damage power, which he has until that stop click, the rest of his dial, which is shape change, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. And when Mr. Mind uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, deal 2 damage to an opposing character within, other than the attacker within range and line of fire. And he's got a 5 range with 1 bolt. So he looks, I think he looks kind of neat, but.
What's that? Stop click is very reminiscent of in the comics, as well as like when you're playing video games. You know, when you're fighting the Donkey Kong Country 3 I recently played. So you fight the boss the first time, and then like, oh crap, he gets out of an armor, and then you're fighting him again. That's what that stop click is going. It's so you finally beat him down to that, and like that's why the biosuit's revealed, and so now he's just a charge attacking you because now the illusions don't work, so shape change is useless.
It's very Dark Souls-esque there.
Okay.
I think he's cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to actually get this to work, because in the rule book, like, characters on the sideline can't take actions. So I want this to work exactly how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, but with hero clicks, everything doesn't work until it says that it specifically works because it says so on the card. So it should be fine.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Yeah, so this is something completely different, something that I love. But like, are they able to take actions every turn, without action tokens? So it doesn't even matter if you miss your willpowers,
Yeah.
I'm all for it though.
I like this guy. I think he's great and sealed. I mean, I might even he might even be playable at 100, honestly, in constructed. I just don't know.
He is playable at 100, I think.
Oh, but he does go on Mr. Mind's card, not onto your sideline, but
yeah.
Yeah, but the finding out about the action tokens would be a good idea.
I mean, because you're still getting because what is it? You generate him, so you're getting his top click from the other Mr. Mind, which I think was like Outwit and Mind Control yeah, exactly, and you're getting it for free. So it's
prob.
Yeah. Oh, it's prob. Okay, sorry, I thought it was Outwit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, still, you're getting prob and whatever and Mind Control, which is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think?
No, I think he has something in modern.
Only at 100 points though.
There. Yeah.
Because 150,
wait, not 150. He has Force Blast. He has Force Blast. There's no way. Like, I'm not paying for 150 points for a character that doesn't have move and attack.
Yeah, but it is.
What do you mean?
Pensai.
You move him. Yeah, you move, and then Mr. Mind attacks through him. So he always has move and attack.
And then later on, he'll have the Pensai, the Invincible. He has a lot more of that damage power that can deal damage if you attack him. So the 4 through 6. I think you can make an argument for 150. Cosmic Energy, you're not outwitting it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he's interesting.
Just because, like, so you're able to move him, destroy blocking, and then you're able to take an action with the Mr. Mind that's on his card for his mind control or whatever. And that one has 8 range, which is insane.
Can you use his range though?
Yeah, because you can use powers and abilities. So yeah, I would think you can use the actual full 8 range for the regular size Mr. Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, powers and abilities. That's just going to be. That's not a combat value though. Uh,
I don't.
I don't know about
That's
that
what I
one.
mean.
I'd have to double. I have to double.
That's why there's still some things that are a little bit wonky because it's supposed to be as if he occupied his square with his powers and abilities. Like, yeah, so that's the way it's going to work, though. Is that whether it's going to get in a rat or it's not going to be in a rat, it's going to be a clarification.
Clarification, yeah. Either
Yeah.
way, I mean, he's good no matter what. It just depends on how good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like him.
But he'll be good and sealed for sure if you pull him and
get another
And he
Mr.
seems to
Mind.
be the most played. Oh, yeah, and he's a common, so you have to be getting,
That would be so
100%.
sad to get him for Team Sealed. This is your Colossal, and you don't pull him in your brick as a common, the small.
I
all
would
right.
trade in. Yeah, come on, let's do this. I need Mr. Mind.
Here it is 069 Ultra Humanite.
069 Ultra Humanite. He's a giant T-Rex, baby. Is he a T-Rex? What is he? He's a T-Rex. Excellent. All right, we're off to a good start. Hyper Time and Justice League. Secret Society of Supervillains, Time Stealers, Animal Pass Scientist. 3-point lines 175, 125, and 55. 2 traits and a special speed power, which he has his whole dial. His traits are Controlling Dinosaur Island. When establishing theme teams, friendly characters with the animal keyword gain the Time Stealers keyword. And then power action, choose up to 2 friendly characters with the animal keyword and move each of them up to 3 squares. His second trait is bringing down the Allied Air Force. Opposing characters can't carry more than 1 character. Okay. And then he also has his special speed power, mind control, and Ultra Humanite use it. He may target opposing characters adjacent to 2 or more friendly characters with the animal or Time Stealers keyword, regardless of range, line, or fire. I think he's cool. I think somebody's going to make this work because he does a lot of really cool
there's
things.
already a way. There's already a way. We already saw him. The way that he works with Supernova. Supernova gives you +1 to your 2d6 roll for initiative for characters with the Time Stealers keyword. And Ultra Humanite gives animals the Time Stealers keyword. So Ultra Humanite and Supernova +2 animals is now a +4 on your initiative. So this is extremely good, especially like I said with 2 super swords. You just take the power action to move them each 3 squares because they have the animal keyword, and then they're able to full charge all the way across the map.
I was gonna say, wouldn't you also just use Pegasus Cap? Just be like,
Pegasus Cap can as well, but the only problem is, I guess, does he have the reach?
He's got a 7 hypersonic, so.
I thought you were going to tell me you're sneaking him on a motorcycle, but I guess not.
Well, I mean, how are you going to sneak him on a motorcycle?
I don't know. He'd find a way.
There is a way, and I'm not going to tell you that. It's a secret. No, he makes Animal into almost a must-play in Silver because you can guarantee to go first every time, even if you roll a crit miss for your initiative. And that is insane.
I want to see Animal just come back in general, though, to Modern. Can he do that?
Potentially. I mean, there is some decent animals out there. We have a few more to show up. I think Animal's almost there. This is the only way Supernova becomes playable. But it's funny that it's like he's almost a waste of 50 points. But like, if you can guarantee to go first, I think 50 points is worth that to be able to take advantage of an alpha. Kong also works with him as well. So if you want to be different and not go the monster mystical route because of Blackheart, you can put Kong with him on the animal keyword, just to be a little bit different. So I definitely think that Animal's there because, like I said, you have Pegasus Cap, you have Super Sword, we got Kong, we have a few other figures that are showing up later. Yeah, and then on Time Stealers as well, you get Per Digaton on the team. So,
which we know he's good.
Yeah.
All right, next 070 Beast Boy.
Yes, my good friend Garfield. I love the orange cat. He's has 1 point value, which is 120. Titans. He has Doom Patrol, Teen Titans, Animal Celebrity. Has Team Player and Outsiders team ability. Special speed power on his first 4 clicks, and then clicks 9 through 13. Charge flurry, and then he has a special attack power on clicks 1 through 4. Blaze claws fangs, but may use it if targeting up to 2 characters, and rolls a separate d6 for each hit character. He does have 2 targets. And then he has a stop click. Stop, when this click is first revealed, you may replace Beast Boy with a character named Beast Boy on our last non-KO click. He starts at 10, 12, 19, 4 with shape change, invincible, the attack power, and the speed power. For 4 clicks, goes down to charge, quake, and vulnerability and exploit for 4 clicks. And then he goes to special speed power 10, 17, 3 with shape change and toughness and battle fury. Actually, it's actually 9 through 12. And then 13 has the stop click. So it's really weird that it has 3 distinct lines, but he's only 120. But the interesting thing is that there's that stop click when this click's first revealed. So there is a world where you can play the Raptor Beast Boy and get him enough tokens to still be on click 1 to replace with this Beast Boy. So you change 60 points to the 120 points. And as long as they don't ignore stop clicks, you can just then bring back that Beast Boy so they don't get 120 points.
No, I'm pretty sure once you replace, you'll get the 120.
Even if you replace them again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because whoever the
higher
most points is, yes.
Yeah, whoever's the most points, you would end up scoring that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool gimmick. So.
But yeah, it's weird that he should have 3-point lines. I say 120, 75, and 50.
Yeah. The stop click is nice, but 120 points to just put him on your force is a little bit rough. But as far as just playing him for fun, the charge, flurry, and 12 attack blades, and you can use it with more people. I think he's definitely a fun piece for sure to put a T-Rex on the board.
And the outsiders from a 2x2 Colossals pretty good.
Oh yeah, and
yeah, not bad at all.
So he's not bad. It's just a weird point value and just weird gimmicks all around, I guess. But this next one, I know I'm super excited for. It's the T-Rex.
All right, now that I'm not deaf.
T-Rexes will do that.
T-Rex. Yeah. So he's Animal Past and Ruler, which I find hilarious, but I kind of love it.
I mean,
he's a friggin' T-Rex, man.
He deserves it.
I guess that's fair.
He is dinosaur we deserved.
He is what? Is that 24 clicks long? Yeah, he's 1 KO click. So he topped out his 300. He also has a 200 point line, a 100 point line, a 50 point line, and a 30 point line. Oh. But yeah, Krakoa could not get a 50 point line.
No.
Let's see. So he's got 3 traits. He's pretty much the same power as most of his dials. So he's charge all the way through. He starts with invincible for 5 clicks on his 300 point line, and then he is invuln the rest of the way, and he's battle fury his entire dial. So his first trait is King of the Dinosaurs. Knockback when T-Rex modifies attack +1 when attacking 1 or more characters with the animal keyword. T-Rex modifies attack +1 when attacking 1 or more characters with the pass keyword. The only thing I'm trying to figure that out is he doesn't have more than 1 bolt. So that always confuses me about the 1 or more thing. Is he only has 1 bolt, so he's not really attacking more than 1 character.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, but there's ways to make it. So I guess this is a way of them.
Yeah, they're
covering that just in case.
Yeah, his second trait is the really cool one that I want to see happen when you play him for 30. Is Swallowed Whole. When T-Rex attacks, if the finalized result of the roll is a critical hit and an opposing character was KO'd by this attack, after resolutions turn T-Rex to click number 1. So then
Silver, it's possible.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be real fun.
So his click 1 is a 10 charge, 14 attack, 20 defense with invincible, and 5 damage battle fury. So that's pretty funny. And then his last trait is don't move. T-Rex can't attack smaller characters unless they have attacked T-Rex since your last turn, been moved or placed since your last turn, or T-Rex is the only character on your force. So I like that. That's a nice homage to most dinosaur movies where they say, oh, they're thing. Their whole thing is based on motion. So
Yes. Yeah, that's
so
beautiful.
he's pretty cool. He's a neat piece for his point values. For 30,
He's
you
even
get
good at 30 points.
yeah. For 30
Yeah.
points, you get 3 clicks, which is a 6 charge, 11 attack, 17 invuln, and 3 damage Battle Fury.
Now to turn him to click 1, you
I
do have
really
to
like
roll 2 6s specifically, not just cheat in a crit hit. How are you
Yes.
doing that, Miles? In silver.
It says the finalized result of the roll is a 6/6. You can still replace the die for the roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are you doing?
Latveria with 2 of the
Spiderlings.
Spiderling.
I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that
Mhm.
then.
Yeah.
All right.
And then you're able to give him hypersonic speed with a motorcycle. That's cool.
Now you're talking.
Dude, who
There's a few.
doesn't
There's a
want
few other ways.
T-Rex?
Yeah, I had the build tinkering with it. I might go ahead and go through with it. I just thought it'd be hilarious to get that out there. And then I know people are saying, well, they have to move. Well, that's why you have people that can mind control people to move, which gets around that. So
Who
I
doesn't
think it's
want
a
a
fun
T-Rex
gimmick.
on a motorcycle? I mean, can you think of anybody?
No.
I want
No one.
all my T-Rexes on a motorcycle.
And I love the fact that it's red because I am a huge fan of Devil Dinosaur, and like this is the Devil Dinosaur that we deserved.
This is definitely one that I hope that we pull for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
But
time
now the real
somebody
question
pulls,
is like, how many points do you play? Do you play it at in the sealed? Because someone has to be playing T-Rex. Like even if if you have to fit 30 points,
I was gonna say-
one of us has to field T-Rex.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I think 100 or 100 or lower is playable in sealed.
You could probably just go full.
Maybe. I mean,
10,
he's a lot
14,
of clicks.
25.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lot of clicks
Yes.
even at 100.
It depends on what else you pull. Like,
Yes, but if you want a tent pole and you want, I mean, there is dark sides, but like he's a decent tent pole. That's gonna be hard to take down because
Yeah.
I know it's not guaranteed, but it is a dice game, so there is a chance that someone can get hot and roll that crit hit and just heal.
Right. Next
Yeah,
we have
they killed it with a generic.
Yeah, the generics for sure.
generic.
Those are the ones I'm actually the most excited for, I think.
Yes.
Next is the 072 Green Torch.
Green Torch, Green Lantern team ability, Green Lantern Corps, Justice League Animal Past, and his real name is the Green Torch. So he's like Madonna. He doesn't have any other aliases. Jurassic League, Quake is free, but only if Green Torch hit with an attack this turn. He has another trait, Green Lantern of Earth, 27. Green Torch may be assigned an equipment during force construction if he were a standard character. That's pretty cool. He's got a speed power on some of his clicks, but interestingly, his low point line, not until you hit him. Protecting the jungles from evil, charge flurry, and then he has a stop toughness. So he's 275, 150, 150. I guess there's probably a world where you play a giant Green Lantern dinosaur just to carry people around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about animal, so people play Legacy Lockjaw for animal. Now you're having I know he only has 3 clicks, but it is a stop click, so that's huge. And he's carrying your team.
And you could just put an equipment on him.
Mhm.
So, I mean, now you've got your Green Lantern Corps ring for free. Or you've got your
And
broadsword.
motorcycle. Yeah, you want the motorcycle though, because you want that rollout with only being 3 clicks deep, I think.
Now, if you do go with that Super Sword team up card, you could have him on his 100 point line and then go to 150, right? He's one of the only people I think that have that instead of 175.
Yeah, so that's where you would most likely do it, and he can carry them because he is a colossal. So,
Yeah.
So then you're going charge flurry 12 for 5. Oof, pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's got a sweet green hammer.
He does.
Yes, with a dinosaur bone. It's amazing.
All right.
I think he is the second flexible. I guess there's 4. Yeah.
What was that?
I guess there actually is 4 playable because after looking at him again, he
He's
does.
al-
Yeah.
He's also
not bad.
beefed up. I know we're a ways out, but with the next Lantern set coming,
That could bring them back to the forefront if no one's playing them.
you just never know what you're gonna get. So I can't completely write him off either.
I'm going to
No, the
predict
top
at
list
least
is
one Hal Jordan and a Sinestro from the next Lantern Corps set. Those are my predictions.
Those
You're
are
gonna
safe
what?
predictions.
Yes, we're going to get one Hal Jordan and a Sinestro at least. Those are my
Nort.
predictions.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Next is, I think, another one of the playable ones is 073 Flash Raptor. So he has Justice League, Animal, Past, and Speedster, JLA team ability. The same Jurassic League Quake is free if he has hit with an attack this turn. He has a trait Bro. Adjacent friendly characters modify defense +1 if they share a keyword with Flash Raptor. He's got a special speed power. I've got you, Bro. Hypersonic speed. When Flash Raptor uses it after resolutions, choose a friendly character that Flash Raptor moved through that took damage since your last turn and place them adjacent to Flash Raptor. And then a special defense power. Almost got me, Bro. Super senses but succeeds on a 4 through 6. He has a 250, 200, 100, and 50-point line. He always has that defense power, and he always has that speed power. So, not sure what one you're playing him on. Probably just 50?
Yeah, I think 50. Put him on Past with Despero. TK someone with someone else. They take one unavoidable. Flash moves through them, place them adjacent. Because you don't even have to attack.
Yeah. So, and then
All I heard the whole time you were reading the card was just Matt Riddle. Bro, I got you, bro. Almost got me, bro. So if you play this piece, that's a requirement. When you use those powers, you have to talk like that.
Yeah, easily one of the better ones with the precision strike on his 50-point dial.
I'd play him just for the torture because he has double rollouts, top dial at 50, and then one of them's a 4 through 6. So I'd just be like, I might not get a hit. It'd be fine.
I would just like to see that one protected out wit. But
yes, I don't think that would have hurt him at all.
I like him.
Yeah.
All right,
so I guess we only
Miles,
have two.
Here is your boy.
This is my boy. It's a Quanix. Atlantis, JLA team ability, Justice League, Animal, Herald, Past, Ruler, and Warrior. 300, 200, 150. Dolphin symbol. He has Jurassic League, Quake is free. Another trait, Matilda. At the beginning of the game, generate a Matilda, max 1. Friendly characters with Giant or Colossal can use Mastermind, but only to choose Matilda. He has a special attack power, that's his entire dial. Savior of the Waves, which is Blades Claw's Fangs, and when a Quanix hits an opposing character, after resolutions, you may generate a water terrain marker in each square Quanix and the hit characters occupy. If only it was including around them, so that way you could get the Quake for free with Poseidon. And then he has a stop click on cliX 16 and cliX 19. Matilda, not again, stop, and vulnerability. When this click is first revealed after resolutions, you generate a Matilda bystander. So, I mean, you get it once per game. Or one at the beginning of the game. KO her.
Was it?
And then get her again. So, and she has Perplex. She's actually not too bad. 5, 8, 16, 1. It's Force Blast and Perplex. You're using her as Mastermind to your Colossals and your Giants. So I think she's good.
Did you only say it was on click 16 and 19? Because it's also on clicks 5 and 12.
Oh, yeah. Click 5 and 12 as well, yes. I would just don't even look at those point values. I just looked at the bottom because you never play them at 200 or 300.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I think that the stop clicks make him 100% playable. The attack's kind of low, but he has Empower. I think that there is something there, which is, this is when I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finally say this. I'm really irked about the solicits having him with an image of a new Aquaman that we didn't get. So I'm guessing that it's going to be in the chase boosters only. Oh, we're not getting chase boosters. So you owe me an Aquaman, WizKids. You owe me an Aquaman.
Here's my theory. This is unfortunately the second time the Ultra Chase did not make the boosters.
Yeah.
And at another event, like maybe Worlds, there's going to suddenly be, you can trade in something for the Ultra Chase Aquaman we forgot to announce.
Yep.
And then Miles Kane's is happy.
justice for Aquaman.
Because apparently,
as the biggest Aquaman fan, people probably aren't clamoring for it. But I'm telling you right now, clamor for the Aquaman. Justice for Aquaman. No, on a serious note, though, I do think that he is really playable at 50. The stop click
So
is
important.
huge.
So important.
And he has Herald, so then now you can also protect him. You can give him Khonshu. You can for stealth and prob. You can give him outwit and support. You can even give him a mitt, which is probably going to be recommended as giving him a mitt just for that steal energy because you want it to heal him off of the stop clicks for free.
So my question is, how did he get Herald, but Green Torch did not, considering he's a lantern?
It's a good question.
Well, Green Torch is not a lantern. He is a torch. That is why.
He says Green Lantern of Earth 27.
I was like, it's on the card. What are you talking about?
His name is Green Torch.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. You know what? This could all honestly be a misprint, and Herald should have went to him. I wonder the same thing. I still gotta reread this series and see exactly. But
I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't think it's like.
Is he connected to Poseidon at all? That's in the set.
Potentially, yeah. I haven't read it since it first came out, and I just glanced over it. It's been really hard for me to keep up with DC after all their changes and a bunch of other crap. But I mean, it's a dinosaur, and it's a little known dinosaur, the Baronix, and so that makes it sweet. Yeah. So yeah.
I think the best thing about him is that he has stop clicks, and that's what all of them also should have had because they're big, colossal dinosaurs.
I think the best thing about this is we've multiple times said we're perfectly fine with this just being giant dinosaurs. We're just happy to put our giant dinosaurs on to fight our little plastic superheroes. That's what we're excited for.
Tell me when I'm telling lies!
All right, next we have... Oh, what's that?
I thought we were doing those the next episode.
What's that? This is the play at home one, I think, or the release day.
Yeah, this is the release day. Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's 099 Batman.
All right, 099 Batman. So he shares the sculpt with the prehistoric Batman from the set. So he's got Batman Ally and what is that? Hypertime. He's got Batman Family, deity, detective, martial artist, past, and warrior. His first trait is lines of fire drawn to friendly characters within range are hindered. He has a 4 range, so that's kind of cool. Basically like a stealth zone.
Yeah, and within range is cool because that's not even line of fire, so that's actually really helpful.
And then he's got a second trait, which is when an opposing character targets Batman with prob after resolutions, deal that character 1 unavoidable damage. That's pretty rough. Hey, I've been probbed. Guess what? You're gonna hurt yourself for that. So he's 65 points. He's 6 clicks long. Like I said, he's got 4 range, 2 targets. His first 3 clicks are charge, no attack power, reflexes, and perplex. And his last 3 clicks are flurry, precision strike, and super senses with outwit. And he's got 11 attack for the first 3 and 12 attack for the last 3. So I mean, he's interesting. I don't hate it for 65. Like, that's not bad.
But when compared to the last set's play at home kits, I think that they're pretty good.
The last set's play home kit had the equivalent of Lady Mastermind in front of it. But I still bought it. So I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, this is
release day.
The release day. So this is pretty cool though. They haven't really made that many good release day figures, so he's actually not bad.
The fact that we have 2 prehistoric Batman sculpts in the same set, this just confirms that the universe wants you to dress like him for Halloween, Redmond.
Yep.
I'll keep it in mind.
No, not for Halloween. He's dressing as Batman for Worlds.
It's not likely.
But possible.
I think if the game shifts a little bit more to range again, this guy might see play, but he's cool, but 65 points is still a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so now this is the play at home kit. This is the Detective Chimp one.
Yes, this is the online exclusive one, and this one is amazing.
He is. I agree with Miles. Detective Chimp is Number 100, he is a mystic. He has Justice League Dark, Shadow Pack Animal, Detective Mystical. His real name is Bobo T. Chimpanzee. He has a trait, the Oblivion Bar, defense, support, adjacent friendly characters have safeguard mystics. And then he has a damage power. Well, that looks weird. I think that's supposed to be. I think that's wrong because it says it's on attack, but there's nothing on the attack, right? So anyway, some old stuff from the Shadow Pack days. Probability control perplex, and then he's 3 clicks. He's got leap climb, blades, claws, fangs, super senses, and then I believe that's supposed to be a damage power, honestly.
Yeah, I have his card right here. That's what it is.
Yeah, so probability control perplex. He's great for 35 points.
Yeah, that's really good for 35.
They did sneak a decent amount of new support pieces like this in, which is really good to see.
Bobo is amazing. Detective Chimp is one of my all-time favorite DC characters, right next to Rex the Wonder Dog. A little disappointed we didn't get him, but I'll take a Detective Chimp. And yeah, he's a great support piece. I mean, Prob, Perplex, plus Defend and Support. I mean, you can't really ask for much more for 35 points. And not only does that he work for Animal, but Mystical as well.
Yeah, I like him a lot. And then our last piece is 101 Batman.
Yeah, this is he has Batman Family, Gotham City, Detective, and Past. Batman team ability. He has the Return of Bruce Wayne. So back to this, but his trait is actually a special damage power. This handwriting, it's mine, outwit, and free. If Batman didn't begin the turn on the map, choose a standard power. Opposing characters within range can't use the chosen power until your next turn. So that's 3. He has 3 range and 3 targets. 7 clicks long. Starts with 6, 12, 18, 1 with in cap, leap, climb, super senses. Throughout his entire dial, last 4 clicks have Quake. This is very interesting, and I think this is why potentially the beginning of turn swap Batmans could see tons of play. Because swapping into this Batman is huge by shutting off powers.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful because you obviously are never starting with him on the map. You're going to be always bringing him in during your alpha attack. So hopefully you're able to pull it off. So I do like this, and I do like the 60-point thing. And potentially that's why I did the beginning of turn instead of free during your turn, because of how ridiculous this is. Because yeah, this one is strong.
Yeah, I think that this whole Batman gimmick for sure sees play on some teams because the utility that they give you is crazy and easily worth the 60 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many total are there?
7?
Yeah, so that takes up your whole sideline if you want to run all of them. But I think there's some of them that are worse than others. But yeah, he's amazing.
There's probably one of the ones in the common slot that you can leave off. Probably the first one.
5, 6. Yeah, there's 7. You can leave off most of them, I think. I think there's only a few that you're going to want to play. This one is definitely for sure going to be on there.
Well, I'm always playing 033 for his hat, so I've got 5 more things to figure out. So
yeah, and see, 032 is too niche to really be on there because it's just so hard. Dolphin on small maps is just it's hard.
Yeah, but the de-equipping something.
Yeah, that's exactly. So like that makes him worthwhile keeping. Yeah, there's the super rare. I don't think you. I mean, I guess he's good enough, but
He's pulse wave. That's still good.
Yeah.
How do you get so many good shifting focused Batman and then you get bat prints out of this set? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah,
it's a good question.
Anyways, moving on.
15 points more than these Batman as well.
Yep. All right, that's going to wrap up the set review of the pieces. So now we have listener questions.
Your ass better call somebody!
First, we have Mork Bird. Predictions for errata ban announcements on the 16th. Do you also feel this will be mostly Kong-related or other figures under the watchful eye that may change up worlds? So the elements I currently see as the biggest issue are Kong, Blackheart, Amit's Tomb, and the Trick Arrows. For Kong, I just think that it's the top attacking piece for a reason. I'd like to see at least something done about his low point line that doesn't make him as efficient at like 50 versus 200. So either getting rid of his double willpower, double power actions, the reducing penetrating, dealing penetrating damage, like any of those things, even if just one of those goes, I think that's fine. I think another thing that'll hurt him a little bit is if Blackheart takes some sort of hit. So I think the biggest thing with him is just making that a power instead of free, and then keeping his printed range value so you can't modify that to make it 8. And then I still do like the fact that he can bring 2 pieces with him and larger characters, so I do hope that stays.
My thing is he's a special form of TK, right? But you're paying more points for it, and he's a lot easier to kill.
Right.
So that's kind of the trade-off for something like that. Is I've always thought if you're getting a unique effect that's similar to like a standard power, you're usually paying more for it, and for him it feels that way. So if they were just made it a power action, like you said, you can't mod the range to go all the way across the map, basically. I think that's fine, but.
Amit's tomb needs to be adjusted.
Part of it.
Yeah, the tomb needs to. Something has to happen.
I think the key to Kong really is Blackheart. I think you have to do something there. To quote somebody I know about Kong, he's fine. So that's my opinion on that.
If they hurt Kong, what's really going to do? That's where it's going to go. What we had at was it Adept? No, it wasn't Adepticon. It's where we had the Ivies just eat everything.
Oh, Nats.
No, it's Origins, I think.
Oh, Origins, yeah.
Address Kong and Blackheart and not address Ivy. For sure. Scott Porter's need addressed potentially, but I mean, I honestly think Scott Porter is fine. I think they're just being overplayed because they're the best piece that you can have. So
and they're on the way out at this point, so I don't think they're going to see anything at all. Amit's Tomb, I play it on all my teams. I don't care if it gets limited to like 2 or 3 per turn, or they ban it altogether. Like, I'm totally fine if it's banned and it's just gone. It's definitely fine with me.
And then trick arrows once per turn. Like that's
Yep, that would actually be really good, because then pieces like Arachnite can't use all 3 in one attack.
Mm-hmm. Or Elsa.
Because she can't proc the trick arrows with her shenanigans and then pass them off to somebody else, and then them have proc the trick arrows.
Yes.
Or make them range like they're supposed to be. They're friggin' arrows, man.
I'd love for that to be, but it's really just, for the most part, people are just stabbing each other with arrows right now.
Exactly, using it as a spear.
I mean, have you seen Lord of the Rings? Like, Legolas killed quite a few orcs.
I know what happens.
So.
I just want to tell you that the biggest errata coming out, Mark, and you've heard it here first, is Lady Mastermind is getting a move and attack.
Yes.
So she will actually be playable. Shocker.
So besides Kong, Blackheart, Amit's Tomb, the Trick Arrows, and Poison Ivy, and maybe later Lady Mastermind, do you guys think there's any other pieces that might see an issue?
Yeah, and you're going to really hate me for saying this. Arachnite.
No, he's fine. All right.
Yeah, you know what? So's Kong. So
whatever.
I guess the only other piece I could maybe potentially see, because a lot of people have
10 less points and an 1/8 of his cost.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that. Is maybe Prime Spider-Man. That's I just know that a lot of people I've heard a lot of that.
It's hard for me to want to really nerf him because he is your Prime. Like that's what makes it so hard.
I don't think he's problematic either, because especially with how many things have changed since he came out. Like, he's not as
even
hard
when he
to
first came out. It's a Prime. Like you want as many good Primes as possible.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want. So I'm totally fine with him being a Prime.
I always want a rat. I always want erratas to make sense, or bans to make sense. I want them to lead to a better game state. I also think there's a world where you can be too aggressive in this stuff, so I hope the people making this decision consider those things, because sometimes you just have a couple years of a piece that's really good.
So leave Arachnite alone.
Well, I mean, he's also rotating out. Like, he's going to be gone. It's not like he's hanging around any further. He'll be, and I doubt he'll stay in. I mean, I don't know if he would potentially see like the bench list in Silver.
I prefer him to join Mad Jim on the ban. But that's just me.
Dang. Okay, we went right from that's just all the way to the ban list. Okay.
You hurt me with Kong. Okay. You hurt me with Kong.
Really hope he stays silver legal because I want to play him on Warp World and Mystical for sure. But we shall see if we get that list sometime soon, Aaron Morgan.
Yeah.
Hey, well, he already said, I believe he said that he can't post it until after Worlds. So maybe that's why there's no silver event at Worlds. That's probably another reason why.
Oh, that actually does make sense.
Because of it not being official till after Worlds. Because all we're going to do is just see the same thing from Rock Cup, and everyone's going to just bring the same team.
That's true. I actually agree then with not having one there. All right, Wesley Robertson. One, all the cliX content creators are all about breaking from the meta established by the top 5 players. Building a unique team that is also top tier seems like an insurmountable challenge without taking ideas from the meta. What advice do you have for those of us trying to accomplish this feat, and how high of placement in a major tournament is considered a success, even if you don't win the whole event? So I think the biggest thing is really just not writing off the best choices to back up the piece or two that you want to play just because they are on popular teams. You can't just go 100% fringe. Miles might disagree with that. I
don't. If you look at the teams that I've made work, I do have pieces that are known to be meta that I use to benefit the figures that are on the fringe. Because that's the secret. You can't break away from the meta completely. You have to have meta figures on your team.
Right. Yeah, you can't 100% break off. You're never going to be able to do that. It's just because otherwise the stuff that's fringe isn't fringe, right? That's
exactly.
If you can 100% make a team that's not of the meta pieces, then either they haven't caught on and they are actually like a meta piece, But I would think that just wouldn't be the case.
No, that's why Dormammu Red's great. That's how I was able to get the King Bystanders, because I was able to benefit from bringing in Butterfly and Mern, take advantage of that. Space Ghost, who's also fringe, but he's a great support piece. But you have to have that basis of the meta.
There's still a reason why those pieces are being played, and so if you're going to play some stuff that isn't all on that list, you still have to back them up with some pieces that are just super highly efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Action economy is the thing that'll come up in this game over and over again, and that's really what you're getting out of most meta pieces. I think to answer a little bit of the question, Wes, is I think you have to take a couple of the ideas from the meta, but you just play what you want to play and then kind of build it out from there. And then I don't know what is considered success. I mean, anytime
Top cut, I think.
Prizing, I'm pretty happy with prizing, because at some point you just have that game where your dice betray you, or you just run into that perfect matchup where you're like, well, I'm screwed, right? And that's what happens as you get towards the end of tournaments or fatigue sets in. So anytime I finish in prizing, I consider it pretty successful.
Yep, top cut. Starro made top 32. That to me is a success. If I would have missed out on top 2, then Starro wouldn't have been a thing. But the fact that I was able to get Legacy Starro with, not Legacy, but regular Starro with Mjolnir to work, it did great. And I guess that team really, what Mad Jim would be the only figure really that was the meta, and Scott Porter.
Yeah.
So, but still, that's still, you still need to have that base of meta to get the French teams to work.
But Starro was good before, like when he was
but he's been outshined. He got outshined.
I'm just saying, it wasn't like he wasn't a popular choice when he was.
He wasn't popular at 200 points.
No. I was only talking about the figure in general. He was a pretty popular.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, Starbrand was also a huge part of why that team was successful, and she is very much so on fringe. I know that she's placed pretty high. I believe she won an event in Modern locally, or on one of the rock events. So I think just top cut. But as long as you make cut, winning record, depending on what your build is, I think is good enough too. But if you're able to get prizing with it, that's a success. You shouldn't look at it and say, I didn't win. It's not a success. I think that's the wrong mentality.
Also, if you're looking to play some different stuff, I think post-rotation, especially if we get some erratas on some of these pieces this week, I'd expect some things to become more viable pretty soon. And also stop building with Prime Ra's al Ghul. Just don't do it anymore.
Prime Royals Al Ghul only works on certain builds, and they're
Zero.
not on Assassin.
And the only thing
No.
it worked was the
No.
the Master Mold build. That's it.
It works. It works just fine with Dormammu. Just because I don't want to use Absorbing Man. But yeah, no.
We will disagree on that one then.
You know what? My record says otherwise with that team. So
That's not the key to your team, though. You easily could have had a better team.
No, I
You did
could've-
not win
could've-
because of Prime
could've
Russell.
easily-
Cool.
no, not at all.
Miles actually messaged me every game on the side and said, "Man, Ra's al Ghul is the reason this motor goes."
I did bring him out once. I did bring him out once with Butterfly just to prove a point.
That the team is good enough that even if you throw that piece of shit on, it's still going to do really well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was able to cover all of its weaknesses.
All right. There you go.
That's a pretty good flex.
Number
All right,
2
next.
is Aquaman drinking his whale juice in preparation for the great smackdown of Captain Calder.
It's clam juice. I get it from my local Winco. It's a West Coast thing. It's for Washington, Idaho, Nevada, California, and Oregon. It's an acronym. I've been doing my my clam juice, eating some snails, legitimately. I love escargot.
All right. If you were going to make a whale juice protein shake that would really help you get ready for the showdown, what else would you include in that shake?
Probably muscle milk.
Just whale juice and muscle milk.
Yeah.
All right.
With a
For
Coors
sure.
Light with a Coors Light chaser.
Banquet.
Okay.
Coors Banquet. That's what they drink in Cobra Kai. That's what I drink.
Next is Anthony Barnstable. He did not listen to the last episode yet, so he asked the same questions. He said he was going to catch up on it. Basically, it was just about the software used to keep the events running, and so we did go over all that last week. Short answer is the number one thing that I think is people can just find their pairings on their phone, not having to huddle 100 people at Worlds, especially. In like a little piece of paper. Best Coast, I think, really seems near perfect compared to the other options I've seen. It worked great for our event a couple weeks ago, so I say that's my preferred method. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark as the judge of that event a couple weeks ago. It was really smooth just having the pairings go. So
Yeah, I mean, we used it at the Rock Cup, and that was that made it a lot easier. So yeah, huddling over a piece of paper is rough.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't have anything to add.
All right, McConnell Lamar, how do you guys feel about Bronze Age format?
I feel like I just got into silver, and I'm now known as Hey, it's Silver Pete. So Bronze Age feels pretty intimidating, McConnell. So if you can find me the Aaron Morgan of Bronze Age, let's go, baby. Let's go.
Bronze Age has tried to stay relevant, and as you saw with Alyssa moving away from Majestics to be Thundering Games, I think the problem with Bronze is the fact that it's catered to a very niche fan base that prefers their games to be just broken interactions, and so you're just not going to get new players into that environment because it's too many gotchas. And so if Bronze Age is to supposed to come back from the dead, it's gonna need very, very similar to Silver reworking with bands.
Even more so.
Exactly, yeah. Because I mean, there's just so much more that you can throw in there. It's just ridiculous.
Well, when it comes to
it is fun, but
when it comes to competitive play, like a lot of players try to break the game already, but in Modern it's a lot more limited and moderated more than any other format, so it's harder to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Silver is closer to Modern in that regard now, with just like an active banned bench list and people looking at it. But they also want to prevent that like negative play experience, and Bronze just lacks that, so it kind of just feels like a playground that invites those like just trying to find the broken interactions and, like you said, reward that. So I am not.
Yeah, because it's always the same, like 26 to 30 people in a very small area that get it. It has potential to be a fun format, but yeah, it needs a huge overhaul to be successful and to grow.
Peter Marshfield, predictions for how hard Major Logan might fall after Porter's rotates. Can I get him for a steal post-rotation? I think he's still going to be really good as a sideline option for Butterfly, so he'll probably keep some value. But once Porter's rotate, it'll be harder for him to keep that value. And then it depends on Kongs, I think. If they still remain to be on like 95% of the teams, he could definitely still see play and keep some value.
I don't know necessarily. Just because there's always been like some pieces that have like generally been on a big like swath of teams, right? So I don't think necessarily that's like he might. Still
He's not going to go up higher. I think that he'll probably settle down to. He'll probably be the most expensive chase out of the set.
Yeah,
which makes me sad. I'm really hoping that post rotation Weapon X gets some love. But yeah, he's just what he brings to the table is so unique that he's going to be staying as him and Elsa, Deadpool Elsa will be staying up at high.
Yeah, so Deadpool and Elsa are like,
especially as the Butterfly call-in, like that's where the value is. You don't ever play a main force in competitive, you just don't. Always the Butterfly.
Yeah, I agree. He's the Butterfly call-in, and I don't think he goes away as long as Kongs are still around.
Yeah, no.
So.
Number 2, I'm not sure if I've asked you guys this, but what are some of the tarot cards you guys think should be seeing more play and aren't? I would say the Star kind of disappeared, but I think the meta's really shifted, so the tarot's kind of changed with the times, and ever since they've kind of
Queen
been...
of Pentacles.
Which is that?
That is where characters can only move in direct lines of paths. Direct lines, so.
That could see play. With all the not carrying with Myrn, with not carrying lines of fire.
Yeah, well, in that way, they have to move in a straight line. They can't especially with the bunker map. If you're able to shut off that straight edge, they can't get to you with the barrel.
Yeah,
I can't destroy that. They have to waste it. Yeah, destroy action. So.
Yeah, it's not a bad one to have if you're playing the bunker and you're not wanting to go out and fight right away.
Yeah. Because they can't go diagonally down those ladders.
What do you guys think is the one tarot card that should be seeing more play that isn't? I think that one that lets you poison after being moved or placed, that seems really good. Mm-hmm. And if you build your team with it, that seems like a viable card.
Ten of Swords is really good because not a lot of people are using poison right now. So I think Ten of Swords is quite good.
Yeah.
I still have a close place in my heart for Ace of Swords, but that one did it was like that one always felt like it was up and down, like it was very much of a roller coaster of a card. It was really high for a while, and I think a lot of people used it, and then it fell off.
Which one's that? I feel like I memorized the pictures a lot better than I did the suits.
It's the blades. You get to roll 2d6 instead of 1.
Oh, okay.
So.
And then number 4, comments on why Black Lanterns just aren't performing well anymore. Is it because Kong and Myrn both just caused them to be able to explode?
They never performed well to begin with. They were always a theory team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I think they still only function best on Monster or Herald, even maybe. They don't function good enough on their own because they don't have the support options that you really need. You can get outwit from the gods, you can get an extra prob, but you need leadership. You need a TK or some kind of play help to get them out onto the board. You got your Batman shenanigans, but thankfully you can maybe do the new Swamp Thing. But
their only TK option is trash.
Yeah, exactly. Their TK option's terrible. Swamp Thing is map dependent in order to get your alpha with Batman. Otherwise, you're basically stringing Necron out to dry to get that marker up there, and then Batman's still pretty squishy. So they kind of need some bolstering from some of their other keywords in order to make them better.
Yeah.
And the main issue I think is still that Black Lantern Superman is your only leadership, and he just sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem, and I think they've always been better to be played on monster teams and not Black Lantern teams. So
that's really what they need is a couple more powers. But Paul Cote also added, is Swamp Thing enough to revive Black Lanterns? Until they get a proper leader that doesn't suck ass, I really just don't think there is a Black Lantern team. So I love them on monsters though, with other Black Lanterns.
I still think they can be headliner pieces, right? On a monster theme.
Oh yeah.
That's not the theme you're playing.
Yeah, you can have mostly Black Lanterns on a monster team, but yeah, you
Yeah.
need the support of monster.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
can't-
or
you
what?
can't do it.
Even Harold, I think, is kind of there, or it's close.
I really like him
Yeah, I
with
mean, you get your leadership with Lex.
King Deadpool and Elsa, though. There's your leadership.
Yes.
Give them all pizza, and they're already healing above their or their starting lines with the pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I really
Dude,
like that.
King Deadpool and Elsa is a thing.
So good.
Even when you have so many monsters, you just have a prob wall. So you don't even care if you go second. Like you want to come across the table on Alpha Strike, sure, you got to get through all these props. So that's a good play on monsters. That's a great play on monsters.
Yeah, that's your leadership.
Well, plus the healing, like it's just
the healing is just
it's healing for free that does not require an action. You just have
Mhm.
Jeff spit out pizzas for free and then pick them up and heal.
Yeah, and he keeps doing it too. Everyone's going to start with one, and then you can just keep dropping them. So, yeah, that's a piece that definitely picks up even more so. But as of right now, that's on my Worlds team, so she's good. They're good. Jeff Dumas, are you bummed Masters of Time won't be allowed at Worlds? What do you guys think about that?
I think it's good because the distribution wasn't going to be available, so it's not really a balanced game state for everybody. Now, what I think is interesting about this set is that this set has a lot of things that address problems that are available currently in Modern.
Right.
Just in and of itself.
Yeah.
So I think, if they had gotten it out sooner, I would have liked to have seen it at Worlds because it would have completely altered the meta, I think.
I think the biggest issue, though, like it's definitely the right call because there's a bunch of cool pieces that would have been awesome additions, like just to the current meta before rotation that would have mixed up what's going on at Worlds. But this allows it to see play in Modern for much longer, and I think that's honestly more important to me than even the distribution. Because realistically, if you're coming to Worlds and you wanted a piece or two, you can find somebody to let you borrow it to play it. It's not going to be like everyone's going to hold it back.
Except for Legacy Starro, because I'd just be borrowing your Legacy Starro card, so I'd be the only Legacy Starro at Worlds, so that would have been cool.
I mean, I like it too because I really enjoyed playing with Notorious last year for Team Sealed and BRs. So I am pretty excited to do Team Sealed with Masters of Time. So
yeah, I think it's the right call. It just would have been cool.
Those are all great points. Honestly, getting more time out of the set, and I'm honestly looking forward to Worlds. Even I figure if nothing else, even if like my tournaments don't go well, I can always just drop and go play Battle Royals for pieces I don't have, and so that's always a good thing. I like it better when there's newer stuff to come out in those sets. So
totally. Lou Minotti, what are your opinions of the World schedule? I think it actually looks a lot more organized and thought out. I don't feel like you're missing anything that's on the schedule, and you can really hit anything you want to do. I'd still like to know for sure what's up with Silver and Theme, even though Miles did bring up a good point that it's probably just not in the healthiest place right now until after rotation. So they'll hopefully add it back next year.
There will be an announcement. That's all I can say. I'm not at liberty to answer stuff, but there will be an answer for Silver. I know that.
All right.
Yeah. I like the schedule. I think my only criticism is no Silver event, but there's got to be a reason for it, I guess.
Yeah, I would think there'd be a reason. I would have liked a Silver event. Didn't they have Silver Worlds last year? Or
Silver Theme.
I was thinking there was two different events, Silver and Theme, but yeah, I guess it was Silver Theme was the event.
But it was just like Pulp though. Is this you just had had 3 rounds of Swiss for Silver.
And then how many Pulp teams are you bringing? That's 0. On Thursday.
Yeah.
Are we doing that?
I'm not flying until 10 o'clock, so I will not be doing Pulp.
I think myself.
What else is going?
Nothing.
What else is on Thursday?
It's just that's the big event is the Pulp Championship. But there's everything else like Battle Royales and everything are going to do that. I think Christine and Oliver and I are all doing it though.
Miles, what are you doing on Thursday? You playing Pulp or are you going to do something else?
Doing something else most likely. Waiting on the announcement before I can say anything officially, but yeah.
Okay. I haven't looked at Pulp at all. I guess I can start looking at it. I don't mind Pulp, but I feel like Pulp is really even a more, I don't know. I think it's just even a more limited format. So I think you just have like 2 or 3 teams that are clearly superior than everything else.
Yeah, I
my
played Pulp
experience.
once and I won it, and so I figured I'm done with Pulp. I won it with Martian Manhunter from Batman Team Up, and I figured, all right, I can't get any better than this.
There's 3 different pulp type events, so I'm gonna just play the championship one on Thursday just because it's the only main event on Thursday, and I just want to compete. But I can only play so much pulp because it gets boring pretty fast. You're playing the same boring pieces, and you're playing against the same boring pieces. So I'm good with just one event for sure. So that's probably all I'm doing. And then, are you a fan of B-Girl Raygun?
B-Girl Raygun is the single greatest break dancer since Turbo and Ozone from Breaking It 1 and Breaking It 2 Electric Boogaloo. And I will stand by that.
Yes. All this did was prove that the running joke of every country for the Olympics just needs to draft people, just regular people. I think that, this just proved it. That this has to happen.
So you can
we don't need
base
people
it.
that are training. Yeah, you just bring regular people. Like, hey, guess what? You're
gonna break dance.
You've been drafted. You're doing gymnastics now.
I was a pretty big fan of that T-Rex move,
event.
though. That was pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, and they realized that was peak breakdancing, so they have removed it from the Olympics going forward.
I did hear that. Yeah. That was kind of sad. That's the only event that we actually watched was the women's breaking event this year.
But that's what so if you look at that, though, that means that they're onto something. And so instead of having these people train their whole entire lives for it, then you just draft people from their country to go do these events.
I love the Olympics. I get sucked into the dumbest things possible, like things that I don't know anything about. And then by the end of watching the event, I think I'm an expert and I'm criticizing athletes that can do things I could never do in a million years.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't land that toe catch at the end. Yeah.
My only comment is I don't think what happened is like a good reflection of like actual breakdancing. Like I think that it's a legitimate sport and like has its place. So I don't think all this turmoil over this happening is not like great for it.
I'm not sure it's turmoil. No, I think it is great because everybody's talking about how good she was.
I would like to have
36 minutes.
I would like to have it back in 4 years. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, because I
know. Yeah, they said that. I guess the next 2 Olympics, it's already been said it's not coming back for the next 2 Olympics.
Oh, the next 2.
So
really,
yeah.
I feel like that's
yep. They've already said 2032 and 2028 will not have breakdancing.
I feel like it's a very like knee-jerk reaction. I think that's gonna end up biting them.
I hope so. They need to.
Is B-Girl Raygun the Simon Garth of breakdancing? That's what I ask you, Luman.
She needs to get herself a motorcycle.
Yeah, not only that though, but I think honestly that she's probably the Scott Porter of breakdancing. The white shirt Scott Porter of breakdancing.
We're gonna get back to the questions now on our HeroClix podcast. Paul Cote asks, Masters of Time greater than Wonder Woman 80, agree or disagree?
Agree. Just compare the curves. Like, that's all you have to do.
Wonder Woman 80 was great, but I think it just falls on the fact that it was a failed experiment of benched powers. It hurt too many pieces.
It was also the top end was like super bloated. Like the top end stuff was all really good. Well, the majority of it, but then like anything under the super rares was pretty trash.
No, even anything under the chases. Like there really wasn't many good super rares either in that set.
I mean, you had like Faust,
Flash.
I think
Flash and Faust, but yeah,
Faust, Flash, yeah. There's at least a couple. I mean,
but overall, I think Masters of Time. I think overall, Masters of Time is potentially the best DC set we've had in.
That's probably true. Just common super rares,
maybe.
Oh, I don't know. That Notorious is. Maybe I just have like recency bias that I really enjoyed playing the set, but I don't know.
No, I'm saying is the pieces that because of how good the Cur is. If you look at Notorious, you look at the amount of pieces being played from Notorious, consistently. I think that Masters of Time will have more pieces,
more staples for sure.
I mean that's good. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, definitely.
And the Curs, I think the Curs are a lot stronger. Notorious had the fun gimmick of the goons.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I
a
think
great
that
set.
also hurt it. And I counted out that almost half of the Notorious was just Batman villains, which is kind of weird.
Well, almost half of Masters of Time is Batman himself.
Yeah, but see, that's part of the storyline, though, is with that.
That's
You know,
actually true.
Notorious.
Honestly, they're good.
That's the
I'm not even mad
difference.
about it. They're good.
No, it's just the Notorious where it's supposed to be all DC villains and half of them are Batmans. Like all of the super rares, I think, except for like 2 of them are Bat villains.
Yeah.
Are they? I gotta actually check that.
I think
Yeah,
Master of
it's
Time is
crazy.
probably definitely the better set, but man, there are some all-time greats out of Wonder Woman 80. And
Well, you
not
can't even
just
compare the chases.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
chases don't even compare.
are, but the there's some all-time greats. Foss is an all-time great. Like, that Flash is an all-time great. I just Wonder Woman 80 to me, this is the only thing this is one of those things I always like to talk about with people that play HeroClix. It was a nice failed experiment, but I feel like it was that thing where they tried so hard to do something and then they just made these incredibly terrible combinations because of it.
Yeah.
Like, some pieces should have just been hypersonic speed.
Well, the curves, like that's what makes it so hard. Is that the majority of the things that you're gonna get from pieces from that set are just shit. The commons, the uncommons, and the rares were just.
There was a couple
horrible.
of really good ones. There was the one, My Boy the Bull. I can't think of his name right now.
Ferdinand.
What, Ferdinand?
Ferdinand, yeah. Ferdinand got a lot of play.
I will admit Jason has like a soft spot for me. It's just say I have 4 through 6 senses and I'm the cosmic energy and running shot Psyblast. Like he's kind of expensive now, especially, but
I've seen him do work. He's 75 points, right?
Yeah, he's definitely not bad.
Yeah.
I guess probably mainly because I'm just not a Wonder Woman fan either, and that's where most of the set was. Whereas, like, even if these figures weren't good, I'm still stoked to see a lot of these figures.
I think Masters of Time is
Masters of Time.
much better in the up to like super rares, and then like the chases are just unbelievable in Wonder Woman 80. I guess that's my whole thing is one's top heavy and one's front loaded, and I'm not entirely sure that they are giant dinosaurs that are Justice League or just giant dinosaurs, which is awesome, but there's some of them that you're just gonna be like, wow, that's the one I got out of my booster. Cool, it'll look great on a shelf.
Were there any good primes in that set?
Black Lantern, Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah,
I guess that's
she
one
was
of the
good.
bigger changes too, is that the primes are way better in Masters of Time though. But
Yeah,
I think
'cause
like Pete said,
because they had Tolafar, who was trash.
Yeah.
Tolafar was bad. Giganta was good until the rules changed again.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then,
yeah, that's her. Yeah,
Giganta was an all-timer until the rules change happened.
Yeah.
and they should have fixed her
They
because
should
she's
have.
a prime.
Absolutely.
She still should have worked the way she worked.
Yeah.
because for 25 points, she's not doing she's doing some damage, but it's not like an incredible amount of damage compared to her top line at 75.
You're not you're not wasting your prime spot on her anymore. She needs that Quake back.
Yeah.
So yes, we all agree that it's Masters of Time for sure. Is Miles going to try to make Aquanix work?
Yes,
we already went over that.
Yes, it's already being cooked up.
Stay tuned.
Does a bear shit
It's
in
probably
woods?
going to take me as long to get Aquanix to work as it took me to get Batman Team Up Aquaman to work. So
We all
I wouldn't hold my
awake.
breath right away. Yeah, because it took me That was at the end of May. And that came out in January
Of last year.
So yeah, January of last year. So yeah, that was like 16 months.
Okay.
So.
And then the last, Ryan Bookwood asks, says,
Wait.
what?
No, we skipped one.
You skipped a reasonable question.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to throw that on here. Can you guys read it?
Yeah.
Matt Vanderloop. 1. Where do high point figures like Spider-Man Supreme fit into a game all about action economy? Other than exploiting them for a sideline ability or something similar, can pieces like this be playable in modern or silver?
They were really close with
Silver.
Silver for sure.
Yeah.
They were really close with that Wolverine that we were talking about earlier, but it's just so easy to overwhelm them. They need to do so many different things.
You mean Darkseid? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the perfect
Wolverine.
example. No, yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine is
Darkseid, yeah.
was really close to being an amazing one man army, like the high point. But I think that still Darkseid gets overwhelmed
yeah.
for the most part. So if you're gonna have a piece like that, you have to do so many things that let you not get overwhelmed, and that's not easy.
Yeah.
APOC and Genesis are perfect examples of what it takes to be a successful tentpole.
And they do a lot.
Yeah,
Like, that's like an
Exactly.
incredible amount of things that they do.
Yeah.
And
Soldier Supreme and Silver main force has potential because you have 150 points to build with him. So you probably won't win, but I think that he could potentially see some play and potentially get into cut.
yeah, my thing was he was all designed around a gimmick with his first trait, and I feel like at least for me, if they would have just made him like an overall better figure,
yeah, just replace him with one or something. Yeah, I think that's probably mainly where all of his points are.
Yeah,
because
like
you have
because his dial's not really that
200 point Moon Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Because his dial's not really that strong, and he takes a lot of free damage. Basically, like once you get him off those invincible clicks, like you can just bash him into walls, and he goes down really hard. Like he's got traded super senses. He's Spider-Man, family. That's great and all, but like it doesn't matter when you're just pinging him to death for knockback damage and stuff. So. I think that was the thing for him was I think he was kind of poorly designed. I mean, this is like I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and that's just I don't know. He was not a
reduces hurt.
Yeah, he wasn't a well-designed piece overall.
Yeah,
I think one thing that would be really cool is if Silver is going to be 400 points. If you played a modern tentpole, you could play it above 200 points, but you couldn't play anything else for modern. And that would allow pieces like Darkseid or something to still see play in Silver. So I think that would actually be a really cool change. It's probably a little bit more complicated because it's just adding another style of rule where it's like this is the rule except when it's not. But I do think that would be a cool little addition to add maybe some other pieces in there too.
And I mean, it's pretty easy to word it like you said, is that you 200 points for modern unless you have one figure.
You can't have any more points, out of modern, something like that.
Yeah. All
right, and
I think tent poles are massively fun to play, but probably the best one ever was Grand Prize APOC, right?
Yeah.
And
I just don't have the. If I have to play one piece for an entire event, that just I think gets boring to me. I think some people like that play, but I need different things happening and different interactions to keep me focused.
I like it purely for the ability to just know how to play that piece no matter what I'm dealing with. Like that's the thing is like just that I guess like the mastery of a piece of like doesn't matter what I'm facing. Like I like learning how to adapt to whatever you're facing with that like one piece. I think is an interesting play style. So.
Yeah, there's pros
it's depending on the matchups, too, right? Like if you drop a 300 point Darkseid on a table at a tournament, you could probably have a winning record that day and potentially make cut, but you're probably not winning the whole thing. So, it is what it is.
It'd be nice if it felt like the tent poles were actually made good enough to be, or not tent poles, like one man armies were made good enough to actually be played as a one man army. Besides, like the outliers, like Genesis and APOC are like the only two. Darkseid's close, but I don't think he's quite there. So.
No, Legacy Thanos was the last one we had, and I think tent poles it's right there with mission points. Is that it's either not good enough or it's too powerful.
Yeah,
there's a really thin line that hasn't been found yet for either one of those.
But I think it's doable.
The biggest thing is the step back for tent poles in this set, though, because they were, like I said, they were so close in the last set with like higher point lines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Last questions from Ryan Bookwood. Admit Black Lantern Superman isn't as bad as you say he is. I'd say you're right.
I will admit that.
He was really good at giving me 120 points. I'll say that.
Well, I will admit that I don't think he's nowhere near as bad as I thought he was. He's worse. So
I don't have anything for this. I mean, he's terrible.
I will play Elsa and Deadpool 10 out of 10 times over Black Lantern Superman, and I will gladly play them with the other Black Lanterns, and it will do even better.
So that is 4 no's.
Why are you the way that you are?
So we're gonna say
I admitted.
goodbye to him.
I told him. I admitted that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So.
Man, Book would just stay taking beatings on this podcast.
I think he likes it because that piece is gonna get him a
Well,
beating every
it's
time.
funny because not only does he take beatings on Tuesday night for our pod, he takes beatings on Monday nights. So
that's what happens when he brings Superman.
Well,
Black Lantern
if you
Superman.
do, Miles, there's a saying: if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
All right. So that's all the questions that we got today. Our Degeneration Clix monthly championship is this Saturday for August. So we'll be live all day on Facebook for that. August keyword is cosmic. Last year we had Galactus or one of his heralds randomly drop in on a map at the end of each round and make an attack on who they could and then stayed on the map until the next round. So, and then if a player defeated one of them, they got to equip their weapon for the rest of the game. This year, we're going to do something like that, but this time it's going to be Thanos in the Black Order. So feel free to jump in, check out that on Saturday, and then we'll have our monthly poll for the championship game to give away some clicks this week later on. So keep an eye out for that. And then next episode, we're just going to finish up Mashes of Time, the set review with just the legacy cards that we have not gone over yet. Special focus on a certain starfish octopus guy. And then we'll recap
he lives in
our
hot dog flavored water.
We'll recap our monthly game and then go over the watch list update that we hopefully get on Friday. So it'll definitely not be another 3.5 hour podcast. So sometimes the set reviews go a little long, but they are fun to do. So hope you guys had fun listening to them. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
We'll be rolling tomorrow. Yeah, we will be rolling next week for sure on the starfish.
I think after these erratas drop, I think that's the community is going to be
People could break stuff.
setting fires to their communities.
Yeah, people will break stuff. So I'm just going to be quoting Limp Bizkit the rest of the pod.
Yeah. My final thoughts are thanks to Terizo for another amazing design. You can be a part of the Uatu Nation and pick up your own Stone Cold Steve Uatu t-shirt branded by Degeneration cliX from our store, which I think Miles has shared the link, and I know it's on the
Yes, the link is on our page. Yes, we also have stickers. I tried to make it to where it's little profit as possible, so that way it stays affordable for everyone. But all the profit does go to help us do the giveaways like we did on Sunday, last Sunday, and all the other monthly giveaways. So,
and Uatu 316 says, "I just whipped your ass."
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
Click it!